Lay me on the moon, a shadow, and bring this to closure. May this dream of our souls, the sun live on forever. Awaken in the rain, if I'm destined to be a savior. Bleach me to dust, let darkness take this over. Unveil the sorry, death and strawberry. The bravest, the only will to believe. Calling me, the shrieking alone, ghost inside of me, hauntingly hypnotize me, chasing lights into the night, through black and white. This blade might buy my soul. There's nothing I've left to lose. I owe this life to you.
And hello everyone. It is 11 a.m. my time, so we'll get started with the tournament right away. This is your standard competitive tournament, the 7th that I've hosted this year. And it'll be a double elimination since we had a really nice turnout of 11 people. And as usual, it'll be best of 3, 7 flags, regardless of where you are in the bracket, whether it's the loser's bracket or the winner's bracket. It'll be the same number of fights, 7 flags. You guys know the drill. So let's get started with the tournament. We got Piper against Jihadi to start us off. I can't ping Jihadi for some reason. Very strange. Let's see if he's got the roll. Gonna be an hour late. Thanks for letting me know regardless. I'll just make sure you have the roll so I can ping you. Huh. I guess he's got it then. I don't know what's going on with that. Competition. I can't find the competition participant roll. That's really weird. Okay. Regardless, Piper, we're gonna have to delay your fight. Apologies for the false alarm there. We're gonna have to wait an hour till Jihadi comes back. We'll get through as many fights as we can in the meantime, and we'll go from there. Yeah, that's very strange though. I can't ping the competition participants. Nor can I ping Lange Connect. What's going on with this? Okay, he's here. He's online. For some reason I can't ping him though. Appreciate you joining. Okay, I can ping him here. Add role. Yeah, somebody removed the competition participant role. Yeah, I'll have to do it in talks. It's not a huge deal. It's just, I don't know why the role's gone. Okay, we'll figure it out. But for now, Wiggly, you will be fighting Lange Connect, so join up. We're doing the second fight first. And I'll be in commentator chat as usual. If anybody wants to commentate with me, feel free to join. I'll just call it Tourney, and that's just so for anyone who doesn't know that the players can listen inside a commentator chat on Discord without watching the stream in the background, which not only is it delayed, but it can also take up bandwidth. And Lanchknecht left, but he's back. Beautiful. Lanchknecht will be on the left side, and Wiggly will be on the right side. Very excited to see both of these players competing, especially Wiggly. Wiggly hasn't been quite as active as he used to be, but now he's popping in and out, and showing us his stuff. We'll see what he can do this tournament. We are launching the new rules on Discord shortly, the sort of champion rules. So if you're seeing that your name is some strange color, that's why. We're still working stuff out, but we're doing a new ranking system. We're restarting everything, so everybody here has something to play for, even the most elite players. Let me just make sure we've got our settings in order since I just did the time of troubles. Make sure we're at 7 flags as promised. And like I said, if anyone wants to join commentators, feel free anytime. Whether it's Tao, Eve, Luck, Venator, anybody. Just give me a ping. Lanchknecht again on the left. Wiggly on the right. If anyone needs keyboard, let me know. Okay, Lanchknecht is in. We're waiting for Wiggly. Might have a problem. Hang on. Who's left? Lanchknecht is left. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, Lanchknecht. Right, he needs keyboard. Beautiful. All right, I'll figure out what's going on with the role after this match, but Lanchknecht versus Wiggly. Lanchknecht on the left, Wiggly on the right. It's just making it a little bit tough to ping people in the not commentator, the competition announcement section. Somebody removed it. I'm not sure when, but might have just been a mistake. But it's not a big deal. We can just do it in commentator talks if needed. So Wiggly has played Barabash a little bit. I wouldn't say he's known for Barabash, but from time to time, I have seen him pick Barabash up. And Barabash might be a good pick here, but the thing about Tarnowski is he has so much staying power. He's got power in his cuts. And he can really switch up his tempo on you, and I think here Wiggly is struggling with that in the opening of this fight. Just such a dominating presence, definitely a powerful character. Barabash is too, but Barabash really has to make use of his speed to counteract Tarnowski. And Wiggly just went for a bunch of YYs there. He didn't try to go for any other angles, so Lanchknecht with very intelligent defense was able to stop that. But good interruption from Wiggly with that snap cut into a follow-up. One of Barabash's key weapons right there, that ability to snap cut. This was that sidestep, a very good try there. Wiggly, a little static there. He doesn't go for any wide angles on the follow-up. Lanchknecht very patient, but now he's going for a bunch of swings. He gets a little impatient. Has a lot of presence overall. Landsknecht sword. Yeah, Landsknecht sword. Tarna sword. I called him Landsknecht because Landsknecht is such a iconic Tarnowski player. But you're 100% right. I think that Dusak is very heavier than the sabers. Very shiny. Yes, it's a very nicely polished weapon, fitting of his status. Wiggly going for a bunch of fast attacks here, but I feel like he's not doing enough punishing, and that's why Tarnowski is winning out in these engagements. Landsknecht doing very well with that. Very nice craftsmanship on the guard, too, for the Dusak. But Wiggly brings it back. It is now even. Nice fight so far. Back wide from Wiggly. Wiggly moves in, goes for a bunch of telegraphed attacks there. And Landsknecht is ready for them. Good patience. And then just powers through before Wiggly can respond. Ooh, Wiggly just... He keeps going for these attacks on his own initiative. I think YouTube chat now says I'm your #1 fan. Yeah, it's some new feature. So like if you chat more, you get a little badge next to your name or something. It's like Twitch. Twitch can do that type of function as well. But as we say that, Landsknecht secures the first win, but it is not over yet. Wiggly has a chance to bring this back and make it 1-1. So, fighters switch sides. I'm just dealing with the names quickly. Hit switch sides. Wiggly, hold your push button. There you go. You have XP, yes. I think every YouTube chat has it now, I'm not sure. But it's a new feature they recently rolled out. Okay, somebody click there. Hopefully we're on the right map. Beautiful. Okay, it was highlighted, so we're still not there. Okay, Landsknecht with the first flag there. Wiggly charged in there, but didn't pay enough attention, I guess, to his defense. That attack was out of measure. Landsknecht is really sharp today. Definitely a tough opponent. I see why Wiggly switched to Alex. He wants somebody with more staying power, a more heavy blade that can trade for damage like that. Yeah, the XP thing is also about being active. Nice, Wiggly took a flag there. Down forward Y from Wiggly. That's a nice move that Alex has, but Landsknecht just seems to be dominating the distance management game. And with Tarnowski, that is a terrifying sort of opponent to fight. Wiggly needs to get his measure in order here. A lot of attacks out of measure, gotta watch your stamina. That thrust is very easy to counter, it locks you in, and you can't sidestep, you can't... Nice parry, but he doesn't follow it up. Wiggly with a good grab just in time. Good use of that parry, though, by Landsknecht. They both made a really nice play there. Sidestep A, but that opens them up. Wiggly just going up and down, but it works eventually as Landsknecht tries to respond. Sidestep, but he gets stabbed in the left arm there. Was a bit too close, I think, to pull that off, but it was a good try. A Piper-esque move. The jump is easily punished. Landsknecht, I think, preemptively attacking there. That was well done. A-cut, out of measure. Wiggly punishes, but doesn't follow it up. Doesn't get the chance there. Goes low, but excellent leg void from Landsknecht. The leg void's working much better now in this game. The B cut into a down cut. Wiggly again, just trying to initiate a little bit out of measure, and Lanchknecht keeps calling him out every time. Here for the sword, stay for the vibe. Yeah, welcome, Victor. B cut hits Alex very easily there, and then that cut coming down. Doing a great job of targeting Alexander's openings there, Lanchknecht. And he takes it, 2-0. Wiggly actually did better with Barabash, I would say, but I think Alex was an intelligent pick. It just didn't work out. Yeah, sometimes you can make an intelligent pick, but your opponent's just ready for it, so... Ezekiel against Tau, that is going to be an exciting one. Again, I can't ping Ezekiel. That's very strange in the competition calls. Should be able to do it in talks, no problem, but... Maybe I should go in and create that role again. But, yeah, that would take way too long, so I'd have to get so many people back in that role, I suppose. Really weird. Anyway, we'll just move on. It'll... Oh, whoops, ignore the ping for Wiggly there. That's Tau. No, Wiggly, you're not in yet. You just lost. Lanchknecht is sleepy, that's why he's more tactical than before. Yeah, it was a sharp game there. Sometimes being tired helps you. Okay, Ezekiel is here, just waiting for Tau. We'll give Tau a minute or so to join, and as usual, we'll just move on if he doesn't show up right away, and then come back to the fight. Double elimination's kind of flexible to a point, so we can definitely do that. Tau is here. Okay. Ezekiel will be on the left. Let me just make sure he's got keyboard. He does. And I expect a Marta from Ezekiel. So a rapier against longsword potentially, or Tau might use saber. That's my prediction. But Ezekiel can play many characters, actually. He doesn't necessarily have to use Marta, but I think Marta has been his strongest character so far. Goes with Samuel, which kind of throws Tau for a loop. I think he had a plan for Marta. But now he's like, who do I pick? He goes with Jan, which is a really interesting matchup. Because they're both very similar characters, I would say. Jan is just a little bit stronger, I would say. He has better offensive tools. But Samuel does have better guarding, so he does have that going for him. And some unique moves that set him apart from Jan. Yeah, Tau using the corkscrew, the stabs, the meta Jan game as he should. Punch there, but gets hit by Tau as a result. Ezekiel cutting out of measure, trying to preempt Tau. Goes with long guard, but gets hit as a result. Stab to the body is actually replied with a double, so Ezekiel stays in the fight there. Nobody has won anything from that. Which Ezekiel is probably happy with. That was a nice stab from Tau. Ezekiel trying a counter stab, which is a smart choice. But Tau is ready for it, and there is the blade beat into a cut. Tau taking one flag, I should say. The first one was a double. Tau is a little bit ahead now. Stab to the arm. Corkscrew there, cancelled last moment. Might have been a good idea, actually, because Samuel's guard is pretty good. Right B from Sam hit the head. Yeah, it was kind of funny. That attack actually does do a lot of damage, though, so it might have killed regardless. But definitely ensured that A cut there punishing the stab. Nice from Tao. Putting his blade in opposition and cutting the hand. Snap cut. Both of them trying to use really tight cuts here, which is smart. Tao, as I say that, he goes with a big wide swing there, nearly catching Ezekiel. Dashing there. Tao is definitely the one on the offensive, and it's very good pressure from him. Both of them stabbing each other. Tao is tired. Ezekiel tired too, though. He has to be a little bit careful there if he wants to try punishing that. So now they both reset. Stab attempt in the counter thrust. Beautifully done from Ezekiel. I think once he times that, it'll be much more difficult for Tao to simply harass from range with some of those stabs. We do have Venator in the server as well as the tournament, by the way, so that's exciting. Don't see him in my events very often just due to he's been struggling with my host a little bit and just timing too. Hasn't had the time in a lot of cases. But he is here, so I expect to see great things from him. And Tao so far really dominating this fight, just by applying more pressure than his opponent, dictating the exchange each time, but not overextending. Push from Tao, nicely done. Tao's lead is even wider now. Down forward Y from Tao, corkscrew, and a stab to the arm immediately. No, we're not doing armor. Not as fun of a mode, generally speaking, less balanced, but it was fun, actually, yesterday, to at least try out. Yeah, but unarmored fencing is definitely where it's at, and Tao takes it 6-1 there, or 7-1. We're gonna switch now. How it normally goes. Yeah, we're not normally using armor. That's just a mod. Okay, swap sides. The fact we're not doing this with increased health, though, means that you can die really quickly, so it makes the fights more intense. Okay, so Tao, a very convincing win. Ezekiel still sticking with Samuel, not using Marta. His Samuel, mind you, is very good. That's another one of his mains. I just think Marta might be his strongest character right now, so I'm surprised that he would stick with Samuel. But we'll see what he can do. He's on the defensive. But there's the corkscrew from Tao, securing that first flag. Another hit from Tao. That's 2 flags. Very good for his morale. Tao moving forward. There's the X cut, but good leg void. Dealing with those leg attacks from Ezekiel. Going low with a stab. Wraparound cut. Very threatening preemptive moves too. If Ezekiel overextends just like that, if he goes for an attack, he can get punished instantly. And this is the power of Yawn on full display, I think. It's not that he's not beatable, but he's definitely the strongest character in the game, I would say. Good dash, though, from Ezekiel. Samuel can beat him. It's just, I think Yawn is a bit stronger. All other things being equal. Obviously, skill matters a lot, too. Ezekiel, a nice hit there. Back wide from Tao. And again, Tao on the offensive. Being careful not to overextend. Fight's getting tactical now. Stab there from Ezekiel, nicely done. Yeah, Samuel can stab as well. Corkscrew into back Y. Good from Tao. And that dashing attack is very subtle, but it can actually get past your guard. if you're not careful and you're too close. Because of the angle that it takes on. The Quart through big wide swing from Ezekiel, but actually forces Tao back with that. Tao didn't have a chance to punish it. There's the cork. You should be number 4 or what? Yeah, oh, you're talking about the fan stuff, okay. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it's that new thing. I don't actually see your badges, by the way, on my phone, but I know they are a thing. I think it's per stream. Oh. Tao needs one more to secure this win. Low cuts from Tao there trying to interrupt Ezekiel, but doesn't quite manage it. B cut, nice leg void from Tao, but then gets a cut right in the shoulder there. And that was a pretty heavy hit, but Tao remains in the fight for now. Down forward B from Tao. That sidestep nearly tagging the leg. Good try from Ezekiel. Tao moves back, corkscrew, nice pressure from Tao, making that stamina gauge really low for Ezekiel, but Ezekiel does get a stab. Per stream for sure, yeah. 100%. Stab attempt. Doesn't quite work. Wrap around. It's definitely helping Ezekiel that Samuel does have a long saber as well. Can definitely compete with Yon's reach. Stab attempt into corkscrew counter. Nice try from Tao, but a little bit too far it looks like. If he got closer, he might have been hit by the stab though, so it was still a good range to be at overall. Very tactical fight. Now that stab there from Ezekiel lands. Yeah, it's not as engaging as Twitch, because obviously you don't have like the perks that you can earn from watching for long enough or stuff like that, but it's kind of cool. Ezekiel scored another flag. We might be looking at a comeback. Looked like this was Tao's, but now it's up in the air. Snap cut there as Ezekiel tries something, but gets interrupted instantly. Tao dashing forward, and that was a bit of a mistake there. Ezekiel punishes it right away, and now this is down to the last flag. We might see a 1-1. But we don't. Tao with the corkscrew just out of range of that sidestep. Very good try from Ezekiel. But Tao still takes it. 2-0, but that last round was very disputed. And up next, we have Info against Venator. Info is here. Venator is joining. Venator had a better time than my host last time we checked, so I hope it'll go well this time as well. Obviously, he's pretty far away, but now the Russian players have been doing well on my host as well, so I have high hopes for that as long as our connection stays stable. I think that'll be the key. Info on the left, Venator on the right. And this one actually, believe it or not, it could go either way, especially if Info uses her strongest character. I'm sure Venator is not liking the prospect of fighting a Marta. Info take the left side, Venator take the right. But we'll see what Info picks. Info could go Calc. Her Calc is actually pretty solid too. Marie would be Suicide, I think, but I don't want to influence her pick too much. Goes with Calc, which I think is a good pick. Definitely better than Marie. I don't want to discourage people, of course, from playing their favorite characters. It's just Marie right now is in such a bad state that I wouldn't play her. Even if you main her. Info's getting a spike or something. Venator looks like he's good to go. Okay, just long guard when you're ready. Long guarding? Okay, yeah, I think Info is just testing it. Alright, fair enough. Sometimes it's good to do that, just to make sure you really are good to go. Good exchange there. Long guard chop, that's a very good move that Barabash has. Venator's been playing a little bit more Barabash lately. Isabella's probably still his main, but he is experimenting more with the classic sabers. Venator trying to suffocate Info here, being patient, but also trying to dictate the engagement. Info with a back X, though. Info's a fairly patient player as well, so... Nice sidestep, though, from Venator. That's a classic there for Barabash. So is the back X that Info is using. Info trying to go with like a rapier sort of style with that broadsword, which can work. But it is a little bit one-dimensional. That's the one issue she might run into. I know she likes point weapons, but often it's best to use all the tools that your character has. But so far, even fight. Venator being careful. And there's the chop. As Info moved a bit too far to the side and an angle was opened up. There's the chop again to the head. Info going with a lot of stabs here. Venator's ready for it. I think he was expecting a rapier. So he's definitely well prepared for stabs. The character he's playing is actually pretty good at countering him too. Although he is very cut-centric, so he doesn't have many stabs of his own. There's the back X there. Venator just a bit too far out of measure for the follow-up. Probably needed like a forward Y or something. But hindsight's 20/20. He was probably just trying to finish it, and not thinking so much about what move. Yeah. These things happen. Stab attempt there. Long guard from Venator. Nice stab attempt from Info. Venator keeping good measure though. And beautiful sidestep from long guard. That can be a little bit tricky to time sometimes, but he timed it just right, I think. He defeated the attack with his long guard, and then he immediately sidestepped once that attack was completed. And Info was still extending the blade, so she was wide open to that sidestep. It's also an area of Calc's body that's pretty vulnerable to being attacked, so very intelligent pick there from Venator. The chop doesn't quite land, the back X does though. Thankfully no kill. The trick shot into back Y, that's become a classic with Barabash. Used to be a very underrated move. The back X though from Info. Again, very point-centric gameplay from Info. But manages to score a point. There's a cut in the thrust. Stab again. Venator sidestepping there. And again, he takes the hit. Goes for the sidestep. Barabash is lethal with that. Venator needs one more. Dashes back a little bit there. Long guarding. Side steps. Belly lunges. trying to apply some pressure, trying to make Info make a mistake. Info doing a good job of keeping distance, but it's preventing her from getting much done. She's not throwing any cuts or any thrusts. There's a back X, though, trying to catch Venator. Okay, moving in and out. Chop there. Again, harassing Info into the corner. Chop again, doesn't land. Venator keeping long guard, and there it is. The chop countering the attack. Nicely done. Venator did a great job of sort of mixing up simplicity with some complex moves here or there. Definitely a good bar bash player. We're going to switch sides now. Hold your push button, Info, or I can just do it for you. Yeah, Venator is on the left now. There's a Marta, which is not surprising. Venator actually goes with Laszlo, which is an interesting pick. Going with Sabers. A reminder about rolls, too. If you use the same weapon throughout the whole tournament, you can earn a weapon title, as we announced earlier. So, Info, for example, used the broadsword, so if hypothetically she won now, she wouldn't get a weapon title, but because she used a rapier and a broadsword. But Venator, for instance, if he were to win, he's on track for a saber title. He's used only sabers. Nice A cut there. Thrust attempt, Y cut. And there's a stab from Info. Good cut from Info. This is a tough matchup, I think, for Laszlo. It's not unwinnable, but Laszlo is very vulnerable to being stabbed. At least Laszlo does have quick cuts and can close the distance quickly. Cut attempts there from Info, not using the point though, and that might have been a mistake. That rapier is a thrusting weapon, might have been better served to use it that way, but it was a good try. Back Y, yeah. If those were stabs, I think Marta would have had that. Nice lunges for Venator, the double back Y. Bit of a mistake there, almost pays for it. No, you don't lose head HP for not wearing a hat. That has no effect on it. Nice, Venator just keeps going with those cuts. That's what he needed there to find that opportunity to close in. And that deep lunge lands to the body. Venator making a nice comeback. Making full use of Laszlo's advantages against the rapier. I still think it's tough for Laszlo, but Venator manages it. And he does the double back Y, but it actually works here. Sometimes it does. And Info wasn't quite ready for it. Venator needs one more. Very convincing victory here. Going low this time, but the back Y as Info gets a bit impatient. Always got to keep the back Y in mind. Nicely done from Venator, but a good effort from Info as well. Like I said, though, this is a double elimination, so if you lose in the winner's bracket, you are not out of the tournament yet. So now we have Oak against Landsknecht. It's rigged. Yeah, I bet you it is. I think it's to do with activity, by the way, guys. So if you guys suddenly stop chatting, even if you chatted a lot, I think you lose experience or something. So you gotta be loyal as well. You can't just chat for the sake of it and then stop chatting. Okay, Oak will be on the left side to start. Landsknecht on the right. Oak reconnecting. I guess something happened. Landsknecht is here. Excellent. Make sure he has keyboard. Like I said, Oak on the left, Landsknecht on the right. Then we'll have Luck against Tau. I think Red Bar would be good if he didn't have the hat. Not a fan of the goat hat, but otherwise, I mean, obviously the tunic looks good. Okay, Oak is ready to go. Is Landsknecht ready to go? Don't hate on the hat. Cannon I will, Luck. Tarnowski's hat's better. Okay, clearly there's some kind of problem. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, Oak's good to go. Doing some stepping there. A little impatient maybe, but good sportsmanship all the same. As we try to sort out what's going on with Landsknecht. Alright, Luck. Feel free to send me a request there. And yeah, armored mode, just to be clear, that's not an option in the game as such. You can get mods for the armor, and you can increase your health. Weird, it didn't notify me, Luck, but I do see the hand. So I'll invite you to speak.
Hello?
Welcome, Luck.
How is it going?
Going well so far. Info
Very
not
good.
happy with the losers bracket. She'll be fighting Wiggly.
Yeah. Losers brackets, honestly, sometimes better. It's sometimes easier to kind of fly up through the losers bracket than the winners bracket.
Yeah, it's definitely doable. I've done it before. You just gotta lock in. Who did Wiggly even main? It's kind of tough to say who he'll play actually, so I'll
Yeah,
just
it's
say
like
go look at what he
Alex.
played. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but he played kind of a lot of people. He just switches between.
Yeah, so even at the best of times, we can't really predict who he'll use. Just a set of characters. So still having problems, Lanch Connect?
Let me connect.
Oh yeah. Kind of convenient we're having an issue right now. Try getting Lance to join Steam. Okay. We can try that. With keyboard, it should be less of a problem. We just might need to restart the game after this. I know the rules say parsec only, but we can make an exception here. Because some players really struggle with parsec for some reason. And after this, actually, Luck will be fighting Tau.
Interesting.
Yeah. Venator's already in a great spot himself, having won his fight. You're a fan. Yeah, everybody's a fan if you chat enough. That's how it works, Victor.
W Victor.
Okay.
W long swords.
Long guard from
Oh,
both of them.
it works. Interesting enough.
Yeah. We've seen this before with some European connections. I'm not sure why that is.
Well, these Steam fixes it sometimes.
Yeah. New update to YouTube. Yeah, every channel I think has it when they stream. Big cuts there. Yeah, the system's always watching you. Chernobyl giving some data there. The info. And Lannis gets another one. Great Lasbo skin decreases charisma stat. I agree, the red's
I
better.
agree. No, red boots is where it's at.
I'll agree that it has more charisma. The gray is kind of dull. Okay, is Lannis having lag again?
Should have soaked this time.
Okay. Careful, Lannis, that can really drain your stamina. Fainting attacks rapidly. Okay, Oak is having a problem, so let's see what's going on. Heavy lag spike.
Heavy lag spike.
Steam it is for you too. Okay. Yeah, thankfully again with keyboard it's not a huge deal. So just kick him out. It said 244. It is a feint because you're canceling the attack. It's what we call a manual feint. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, Oak, good to go. Lange Connect when you're ready. Just long guard.
Busy typing.
Yeah, I think he's typing in the chat. There we go. No problem. The Discord, that is. Charisma build for the win. Yeah, best friend has to be more dedicated. You can't just, I think, you can't just chat a bunch of times then leave if you want to maintain the top spot.
mean, the top spot doesn't even matter. It only goes to 75 XP, so everyone's just tied.
Yeah. Pushing it. Stab there. Lanchknecht doing very well with Tarnovsky. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, he's been playing really well with him. Tournaments.
Yeah.
Tough to fight.
Yeah. And I think this is a bad matchup for Tarnovsky too. So to be ahead against Oak of all people is a really good achievement.
Yeah, probably. Laszlo's speed can kind of mess him up.
Yeah. Nice. Moving back to
That was
parry.
close.
Yeah. It still could have, something could have connected, I think, if Oak was in range, but... Nice.
That was the wrong move. Maybe attacked immediately, might have got it.
Nice job breaking 200
Oh.
subs. Yeah, I broke 200 subs recently. Kinda nice.
Through the card.
Yeah. Oh, that attack there. Yeah, it reaches pretty far. Oak is on the back foot. We've seen him adapt, but it's not looking good.
No, it is not.
Another double.
They both hit hard, so they're gonna double each other a lot.
Yeah. Nice hit.
What a kill. Oh, he's tired, okay.
Yeah.
How the fuck is he tired?
Yeah, functionally
Oh, you didn't
speaking,
do
that
much.
was a kill. Oh, it's a double.
Wow.
Good
I did
try.
not expect that one. I
Yeah.
thought it was dead.
There was a double hit on the stab too, so I thought for sure that was it. Oak takes the hand off.
Wow. I think that one went to the guard. Looked like it at least.
Yeah, it reaches pretty far as well. Back Y.
Nice back Y.
This is what makes Oak an elite player. He's really punishing
Say
these
that,
small
but
mistakes.
I didn't want to curse him.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to affect him.
I'm just gonna let it play out and see what happens.
Ooh. Dangerous attack there. Big cuts from Lanchknecht.
Ooh.
Yeah. That stab from him is actually really dangerous, despite being mostly a
Looking
cut
good.
character. Another hit.
Not looking good for Oak. Got his arm hit, he got his torso stabbed.
Mm-hmm.
And one swing and he's tired.
All he can do is maintain distance and hope for that punish. But hitting the guard will not be good for his stamina long term, as we can see here. Push. That's it.
Yeah. Lance played that well at the end.
Yeah, little Luke Skywalker versus Vader strat, but it works when your opponent's tired and can't respond. I almost put Laszlo for Oak here. Switch sides, guys.
Jihadi is back, by the way.
Excellent. That means we can do that fight and we don't have to delay anything. So we'll do his fight first, then we'll come back and do Luck versus Tau.
Rematch, Henderson. I mean, it was close, so not surprising, and they have both their mains.
I'm sure Lanchknecht is very happy he got that and didn't choke it, because that was close.
Yeah. Getting Oak tired's pretty hard, but I mean, if you hit him twice, you're still gonna get tired.
Is this all Cumans? No, anybody can play any weapon. Sabers are just very popular.
I love a good cumin. Honestly, that's probably my favorite quest from KCD2 is that human one in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Where you start
That
singing
shit
with
is
them. Yeah.
it's so funny.
Yeah. Well, the best part for me, I think I told Tao this on stream once, but I ended up finding the Mutt quest as well, just in the middle of that one. It was really funny, because I saw the
Oh
dog,
yeah.
right? The talking dog, quote unquote, and he's like, "You will find what you seek." And then I find Mutt, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" And it was after falling off a cliff too, so it was the most hilarious thing. And I had to fight some wolves.
That's funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember doing the Mutt quest, but doing it in between is hilarious.
yeah.
It's just like really like that what's his name? His name Godwin, the bald guy.
Mhm.
Like doing the first quest on KCD with him where you get drunk at the church or right after
Yeah,
you go in the church. It's like the same as that and it's hilarious.
yeah,
No, attack me!
yeah. And if you pass the checks, everybody agrees with you, even if you're just shitting on the church.
I did not pass them.
Yeah.
They did not like me.
Yeah, I mean, it's remarkable they even like me at all, considering what you're up to, just ringing the bell at night and shit.
Yeah. Ooh, headshot. Tanked it to the gut and
Mm-hmm.
hit him in the head.
I think everyone fell off the cliff playing a lot. Yeah, lots of people had that happen. And it's funny, 'cause you're sitting there like, is this a dream? Like, am I just drunk as hell and imagining Mutt there? Or is that part of the quest, you know? Stab to the body. Let's focus on the fight, it's very
One-
close.
Double.
Tourney is so stylish sometimes with those stance switches too, despite being a brute force character.
Mm-hmm. I really like that movie did where you like step to the left and under.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite moves of his. And Lanchknecht might get a more convincing win this time. He does. I didn't curse him. Fantastic.
Oak taken out early. Very interesting.
Yeah, both rounds too. Excellent job, Lanchknecht. Okay, Piper against Jihadi. I know you guys have been waiting quite a while, so we'll do that fight first. Then I'll give Jihadi a little, or whoever wins, a little break. And said Jihadi as if he's gonna win. We don't know. Whoever wins a break, and then we'll do you against Tao. Talking to the Dream Dog was weird. Yeah, it was. I feel like we were just talking to the Cuban guy or something, but we somehow imagined talking to a dog.
It was really funny once like you got like insanely drunk. You just started speaking the Cuban language, whatever the hell that is. I'm not sure.
It's
Like
Hungarian. Yeah,
he was just straight up speaking Hungarian out of nowhere. You could
yeah,
understand everybody.
yeah. Yeah, and it's understandable you're confused by it, because Hungarian is actually not related to any of the surrounding languages in Europe. It's what's called an Asiatic language, so it does come from the East. It has some Slavic words that are kind of borrowed in there, but otherwise it's basically its own unique language. That's why it looks like
Yeah.
gibberish. I think the Cumans had their own language as well, but by this point in history, they're kind of integrated into Hungary, so they just speak Hungarian.
Interesting. Apes versus Marina. Interesting. People still play Marina
Yeah.
after all this time.
Yeah, I know she definitely has some strengths, but she just hasn't had the results, I think.
I think she's a little weaker than when she first dropped.
Yeah, I could see that. Some of the new moves seem to break through easier. Like the Zera has a few that just beat her blade every time, for instance.
Her saving grace is just that the guard.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely have to play a certain way, and Piper's not afraid to play like that. He can push anytime.
I think that's the only advantage the shield has over like someone like Yazik that has like a better guard. Basically, is that, you know, you can kind of just attack with your shield still up, and
Yeah.
you're not gonna get hit. You can't
Right.
really do that with Yazik.
Yeah.
You get lucky with a or skillfully do a active parry, but
Right.
that's still not as good as just having a shield sitting there while you're swinging.
Yeah. Yazuk does have a quick riposte. That's kind of his advantage, but Marina can just do an attack at the same time, as you say.
Yeah. That's honestly why it's so hard to kill the shielders, because if you don't attack in the perfect spot, you know, they'll just kill you.
Yeah, you say that as Piper just gets it. No, we're not rematching.
Rematch.
Okay.
Yeah, but of course, if you rush them down and just push them, there's obviously nothing that the shielder can do.
Okay, Jihadi's
Is
gonna have
their
to
weakness.
change something.
I'd probably change characters, to be honest. That might be a good idea.
Yeah. Maybe an Alex Mirror, Connor. I think the push is
mean-
a very good tool against her, Ezekiel, but I don't think it's the only tool. I think it works well if the Marina's not ready for it, but there's other
You
things
can
that
also
just
push yourself, which she has like a pretty good push that's long range, and use the push against people that you know they're gonna walk in and push you, throw preemptive attacks.
yeah. Yeah, and I've seen Jihadi do that too, like back Y to stop someone coming into push and stuff like that, sidestepping. But it's definitely a thing you have to focus on a bit more, so it's still a disadvantage that matters.
It's not hard to stop the push when you know it's coming.
Yeah. I think the hard part is stopping the push while also being aware of the other stuff the opponent can do.
I agree. But who's on the left? Is Jihadi on the left?
Yeah, it is Jihadi on the left. Piper going with the drip.
I think he's doing that long guard X move. I believe that's the input.
Yep.
He's
Sidestep back.
doing pretty good with that.
Yeah, he's playing Alex largely the way I would. He's just being a bit more fancy about his whirlwind attacks. And this is a good way to stop Piper if you can just single tempo him. Oh, jump.
Ooh, double.
Whether that's grabbing him, that's putting your blade in the way and hitting him at the same time. Piper just doesn't stop moving forward, so if you can stop him in his tracks with a lethal attack, you'll put him off his game.
For sure. Jihadi's doing well. I'm not sure if he plays Alex or not, but definitely doing good playing it.
Yeah. I've seen him play Alex before, so I'm actually not super surprised. I was thinking Alex or Connor from him. still some pressure on Piper, because I think Piper is the Alex main, like the guy everybody thinks of now who plays Alex. So to lose here, it wouldn't be embarrassing exactly, but you know, there might be some pride involved, like he wants to think he's the best and stuff like that. Whereas Jihadi is more known for shields. So.
Yeah.
Nice. Piper did a dash and then did the whirlwind attack. Push. Oh, he goes for a grab. Yeah, and Jihadi counters it. That was actually more disputed than it looked initially. So we gotta go again. Okay, switch sides. We're not done yet. Beautiful. Jihadi on the right this time.
Interesting mirror, honestly. I do think Alex is interesting. I just hate playing against him. Push.
Jihadi's game plan again, I think, is pretty obvious. Just needs to shut Piper down quickly. But ideally do so in a way that doesn't expose your hand.
Wind up is killer, man.
Yeah, it's a lethal attack in and of itself. Ezekiel says her damage is weak. Talking about Marina. Yeah, that's another thing she struggles with. And her HP is not the best, which is probably a good thing, the HP especially. So it rewards players who are getting around the shield.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a great character, but still, if you hit somebody, they can't push it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely situations where she can dominate. Stopping the jump.
Ooh.
Piper's saying don't jump this time.
What a push.
Yeah, that was huge. Getting tired. Alex moves pretty quickly while tired, though.
Very tired. Very fast when he's tired.
Oh. Yeah, that is something that maybe could be changed, because other characters suffer when they're tired. I think there's a few others who don't as much too, but...
I think Zara's pretty fast when he's tired.
Yeah. Anyway, I won't start a balance discussion, but... Yeah, just
his
something.
guard is crazy.
Yeah.
He'll get the push off and he'll still somehow block it. I think he needs to pick like a lower attack after a push or something.
Yeah. Yeah, Piper uses the guard as an offensive tool.
Double.
Double. Yeah, Piper needs one
Patient
more.
there.
So it's looking good for him, but he doesn't want to throw it away.
Yeah. Patient Piper. He's even more patient. No, he's not.
Yeah, just goes for the jump. Nice exchange, but Jihadi gets the better end of it. Takes a hit to the head,
Ooh,
though.
over it. I think Jihadi swung or something.
Yeah. Still a disputed fight. And Piper, I'll give you a little bit of a break and have Luck and Tao fight now.
Alright, well, I am still gonna be able to play, but I cannot commentate currently. I might be able to join back in a little bit, but
Okay.
someone take my spot, man. Don't leave him in here alone. Goodbye.
Alright, see ya, Luck. Let me know. Get towers here. And Luck, you'll be on the left to start off. Towie will be on the right. Now this one can be pretty exciting. Both of these players are elite. And they play some of the same characters, actually. Could totally see a Yawn mirror. Could see a little bit of Isabella. A lot of possibilities. Luck on the left, Tao on the right. Luck goes straight for Isabella. Tao thinking of Gideon. Yeah, he goes for Gideon. I think his Yawn was very strong, but he also has a strong Gideon. He's a good Saber player lately. He used to be known for Longsword, but I would say now he's kind of mixed. He dabbles in Saber quite a bit. And I've noticed that about every single Longsword player for the most part. Plebeian might be a little bit of an exception, but even today I saw him playing Yazuk. It seems like all the Longsword players dabble in Saber a lot. For one reason or another. And it's a variety of Saber characters too, it's not just one. The tower scored 2 flags so far. Very impressive performance. Luck landing a hit. Now he's on the offensive as Tower's getting a bit tired, low in HP. Goes for a chop though. Luck doesn't want to get too greedy, because that could end very badly against Gideon. There's a cut. It's just less grindy. Saber, yeah. Saber fights are where the most fun in this game is at, in my opinion. But obviously I'm biased. I think a lot of players do agree though. Long swords are good, but every fight feels like a drag. I see. I definitely do prefer playing Saber over Isabella, so I can see that. Cut to the head again. Tao just on fire with Gideon. Luck doesn't seem to have an answer. A cut there, trying to switch legs, I think, but it's also a nice preemptive attack in case Tao moves too close. Luck already tired. That is one problem Isabella has. Gets a flag though. Interesting to hear from the longsword mains though, like that Isabella isn't. That's fun to play. Okay, Luck with some feints there. Big cut. And there's a snap cut to the head. Don't want to say too much, but Luck's doing well now. Snap cut. Good parry riposte from Luck. Feints from Tower as well, though. A listed feint there, as well as some manual feints. That's actually one of Gideon's best moves. Good beat on that thrust. It's good to see that it's counterable if you're sharp, but Tao is still on fire if the attack. Luck is tired and goes for the tired swing. Tao is patient. You really actually do need to be patient against Isabella's tired swing. It's not the best tired swing by any means, but it does have the ability sometimes to one-shot you. Breaks through the guard just slightly there. But the blade, I think, took the sting out of most of that attack. Luck follows it up, though, nicely. Y cut. Looking closer now, that high guard cut nearly hitting the knee, I would say, but Luck making a nice comeback. It's now an even fight. Stab attempt, Tao goes forward with the cancel into cut. But it is a double. It's funny, as I'm commentating this, the cat is curled up giving me the crazy eyes right now. Not very happy that I'm here commentating, but oh well. She'll have to live with that. Tao needs one more. There's a hit from Luck, though, to the left arm. There's a hit again to the left arm. Tao's stamina not looking great, and there's a cut to the head. Luck definitely had to work for this, but it is even at this point. Threatening the chop. And the snap cut after the thrust, but it is not quite threatening enough. It doesn't kill Tao because it doesn't hit the head, and Tao is able to move in for that kill. Okay, switch sides. Hope to see another fight just like that, regardless of outcome. Goes with Yan this time. Gideon was a little disputed, so I can see why he made that switch. Tao's Yan has been on fire. Nice exchanges there, that's a double. The cork, very nasty move, especially when you time it right, as Tao just did. Or some chops, threatening the guard there. That down forward Y is a very good move against Isabella too. Good exchange. There's the YY though from Tao, and it's a very good way to put pressure on the opponent. If you get in an exchange like that, then out of nowhere you throw two attacks that your opponent has to deal with. It's not a good idea to just throw them whenever, but if you can throw them at a time when your opponent's just not set up to stop them. Yeah. Venator says he likes that follow-up, the X follow-up that Luck does after the tap, but it's always too slow even after hit. Yeah, I think it's better as a preemptive parry, if that makes sense. If you're expecting an attack, and you sort of parry and let the blade roll off, so you can land a hit, instead of using it as a combo to hit the opponent who's ready to defend. Good strike from Luck. Tao taking some damage. But Tao is still in it, doing these tight movements. That's how you play Yan. That wasn't a favorable trade for Tao, but actually Yan has some pretty decent HP. He's got a lot of stats in his favor. That's why he's universally seen as a very good character, if not the best. Back Y from Tao, as Luck does that combo. The high guard cut, only slightly hitting. And that Quart was very convincing. Back X there trying to snipe the hand. He did a little cancel after that stab, and that would have done damage, I think, if Luck was open to that attack. That's one of the most dangerous things about that stab that Yan has, is that you can cancel them anytime, and you can kill with the cancels if you're very quick. And there's a parry of the high guard into back Y. Very fast move. Tao looking for a convincing win here. Yan seems like the better pick. Trusting his guard as he moves forward and just walking all over Luck here. Luck needs to change something. Yan is a very strong pick in this matchup. Tao wants the grab. He wants the stylish finish. He threatens it again, kind of, as he moves forward and does a back Y, but luck calls him out. Very nicely done from luck. High guard again, trying to call Tao out, but Tao keeps distance this time, which is one way to defend against the move. It can be a little risky, and there he places the corkscrew, and I think that's the best way to use that move that Tao just did right there. So, especially if your opponent has just finished an attack, if you're able to place your blade in a spot where you're almost touching the opponent, and then you throw the corkscrew while you've got that barrier in place, your opponent's basically not going to block it. Even if they try the long guard, I think that is like your best chance of landing it. So, very expertly done from Tao. I know that move has a very fearsome reputation, but there's also a skill to just placing it anytime you want like that and preventing your opponent from responding. Okay, Piper. Let's do our fight now. Oh, is Wiggly forfeited? He didn't say anything, at least that I saw. Oh, he unregistered. Okay, he did. Yeah. Never mind. I just missed it on the Discord. Thank you for letting me know, Wiggly. I think he's going bayoneting in Mountain Blade Napoleonic Wars. He's been playing that a lot lately, and that's what Steam is telling me, so. Certainly Discord is as well. Anyway, no worries. He wants to go bayonet with the regiment. It's a very fun time. At least he did it in double elimination, so it's no problem. But I wish he did stick around all the same. Okay, I'll be on the left side to start. And Piper will be on the right. Okay. Don't think it's a secret who Piper's gonna play. I'm just gonna stick to my main though. See what happens. Piper is a dangerous opponent. And this is my first fight, so I'm not really warmed up. That went way better than I expected. But it's still got another round to go, at the very least. Okay, switch sides, Piper. And good luck. Alright, GG, Piper. Much more disputed fight this time. And with that, round 2 is completed. Info moves on because Wiggly has forfeited in the loser's bracket. So now we actually have Piper. Well, in the order it says Piper against Ezekiel. Because Piper lost, let's give him a bit of a break. And I also kicked him out, so there's no reason to bring him back in. Let's do Luck against Jihadi. Oh yes, Venator has announced a tournament for tomorrow, so if you are available, be sure to sign up for that. Punch them at the end. Yeah, that was nasty. You can actually do that as well after the trick shot. It can be very nasty. Okay, let me just check the side here. Luck will be on the left. Info will be on the right. And again, same number of flags, same number of rounds. Nothing's changed. Oh wait, did I ping you, Luck? I'm sorry. Yeah, let's let these guys in and they'll do their fight. Oh no, info was coming in. That's why I was confused. Okay, yeah, you guys are good. You guys didn't do anything wrong. I was just confused by why info was coming in. But I think info expected to be fighting right after, but info actually moves on. Yeah, fair enough, info. I appreciate you being active, but you're not actually fighting right now. So, Luck on the left, Jihadi on the right. Oh, Venator signed up to his own event just now. He forgot. Yeah. We once started a tourney without registering. I'm sure that you're not the only one that's happened to. It's kind of a ritual for me, so I don't typically forget, but I can see how you would forget for sure. It's kind of a no-brainer, right? You started a tournament, so of course you're in it. But, you know, things can happen. Alright, let's see what Luck can do against Jihadi. Isabella, probably not the best character if you were to ask a lot of elite players, like, who's the best character to fight. Marina, but I've definitely seen it done before, and Luck is not afraid to push. He definitely is well aware of the sorts of moves you need to do to overcome Marina. X-cut there, that's a good move. I found that was good against Alex as well, actually. I was able to catch Piper on the hand when he was doing certain attacks. Even when he was trying to retreat, I was able to wrap around and hit him. Even though it's a descending cut. So a lot of people think descending cuts don't work on Alex, and I think oftentimes they don't. But I think there's certain angles where they'll still get through if you use them properly. Especially against an aggressive Alex like Piper. Snap cuts, very quick move. The push is counter. Jihadi is also very aware of the sorts of tactics that Isabella will want to use here. Going for the dash thrust. That's a dangerous move for Isabella, actually. And there's a kill for Jihadi. Love that laugh, too. The actress who plays Marina did a great job there. I will say, though, there was one weird moment in the story where she just seemed to do like the basic grunts that she does in this fight. It's like when Marina is out fighting Tarnowski's entourage a little bit, and you're being saved, quote unquote. You just hear random grunts, and you're like, what the hell is going on? It was kind of weirdly done by Kubold. But that's the only part where I had a problem with the quote unquote voice acting, but it's not the actress's fault. That's something that Kubold did. I feel like if he just did generic fighting noises or something, it would have been at least a little bit better. Obviously, it's better to be even more creative than that, but I don't know. It was a small thing. Snap cut from Luck. Luck making a bit of a comeback, it looks like. Interesting, I think that was Blade away from Jihadi. That stance that he was in briefly. I'm not sure. I haven't seen Marina's Blade away, so I honestly can't say. It's just the shield was way back. So, it was kind of a bizarre stance. Sidestep opens up the leg. Luck is finding some stuff that's working. And I think Jihadi is trying to find angles against Isabella, who has a pretty solid guard herself, but in doing so, he's opening himself up, especially the stuff coming down like that. But Jihadi this time makes it work. Pushes can work, like we've been saying, Ezekiel. They're definitely a thing that Marina has to pay attention to, but they're not the be-all, end-all. But there we go. Luck manages to pull one off here. It's still something Marina has to keep in mind at all times, and it's definitely one of her weaknesses. But if you focus too much on pushing, you can get punished very easily. So it works best against people who are consistently making mistakes. But we're not done yet. Switch sides. We're actually doing pretty good for time, so that's good. Obviously, that is a little bit of a concern sometimes when we're doing like full numbers of flags, full rounds. Yeah, I think Alex is Jihadi's stronger character, although he did well. He did well here. I think his Alex has been stronger today. Jump there. Don't want to jump, especially not as an opener. But yeah, Luck stayed solid there. That was good on his part. Perfect counter. There's a sweeping cut to the head. This matchup in particular can actually be very tough for Isabella. It's 50-50 strictly speaking, but we've seen Alex dominate this one before. We've seen Isabella do well too, but this is definitely a matchup where Luck is going to have to pay a lot more attention to angles and positioning. Because otherwise Alex will slip something past the guard and hit the head. Just like that. Beats the blade actually because Luck did a stab. Nice parry with the X cut, and that's one of the best ways to use it. And there he tags the arm. Dashing in, threatening one, and Luck gets hit by that. What's that? It's another X cut. It's the long guard X, I think. And that one reaches pretty far. I think Luck was trying something, but it's one of those moves where if you're even slightly exposed, it can blast through and hit you. Sidestep Y, very good move here. Nice exchange between these two, and that X cut just doesn't have the reach. And so it was a good try from Luck, but it just didn't have the reach to tag Alex. Snap cut there. High guard cut. Luck moves forward with the push. X cut, but backs off. Good job from Luck, but it's a double despite the high guard cut. I think Luck got slightly too greedy towards the end, but I think earlier in that exchange he did a great job of not being too greedy. He just thought he had it just now. And to be fair, he definitely did get the kill shot. It's just he got hit as well. And that's the issue you can have. Alex hits really hard, as well as having a good guard to his head. Low, but that snap cut lands perfectly for Luck, beating Alex to the punch. Another tough fight for Luck, I would say, but Luck remains ahead. This time he's not having to make a comeback, so probably a little bit less stressful, but he definitely has to stay solid here. That's a cut to the leg, which is bad for Alex's mobility. Have to say, it is interesting that Alex can move at full speed when tired, but when he's limping, that's when his movement's gone. For most characters, when you're tired or limping, it's kind of the same thing. Maybe something that should be changed, but it's not affecting the fight, of course. That's just a small quirk with Alex's character, but Luck is actually doing great in this one. A grab from Jihadi as Luck goes for a cut, I assume. The dash and grab is bold, but it works here. Stab attempt from Luck gets parried by that cut, and he gets single tempo. That's something dangerous about Alex, but Luck stays in the fight. That sidestep Y, that looked harder than the score might tell you, I would say. But Luck does take it. Alright, now it's going to be Piper against Ezekiel. And then we'll continue in the lower bracket because after that we have Oak against Luck. So honestly, the loser's bracket, I mean, there's no easy fights. The quality of this event is really high. Like, I don't see anybody who's a greenhorn in this event. There's some people who are a little bit newer, of course, but nobody who's an actual greenhorn who hasn't been with us for a while at this point. So it's a very tough competition. No matter where you end up, you're gonna have a tough time. Okay, I'll ping you guys now. Piper against Ezekiel. Piper's already here, so I'll just ping Ezekiel. I saw him in the YouTube chat, so I assume he's around. And thank you for competing, by the way, Jihadi. Put on a good show. Just wasn't your day today, but very good effort on your part. Again, it's just you had a tough fight no matter where you ended up here, so. Okay, everybody's here. Piper, you will be on the left. And Ezekiel, you'll be on the right. Alex against Samuel, that's a tough matchup for Sam. But Ezekiel Samuel is possibly the best out there. So if anyone can do it with Samuel, it's Ezekiel. Although I was singing his praises about Marta. He's definitely a strong player with Samuel as well. Okay, Ezekiel was having some problems there, which is a shame. He did take a hit. As Piper just moves forward, he doesn't give you a chance to breathe, but now he is showing some good sportsmanship. Ezekiel testing things out. That's long guard. Looks like they're good to go. And that's a double. So Ezekiel was probably happy that just sort of canceled out. It basically didn't matter. that whole hit. Piper wraps around with that X cut single tempo there. Very dangerous move, actually, despite being one of his faster attacks. A bit of a whirlwind there. Ezekiel getting killed again. And that's the challenge that Sam has. He struggles to trade with Alex. And Alex has good angles to get around Samuel's guard. That's a good snap cut from Ezekiel, though. Definitely want to use Samuel's speed on some of those cuts to his advantage. And that guard. But it's all to do with positioning. Nice feint. That feint false edge cut. Side steps from both of them. Very similar cut. But Piper is able to wrap back around, and that's what Alex does really well when he sidesteps. Doubling up by sidestepping to the left and then sidestepping to the right, or you can go vice versa. And especially if you shield yourself while you're doing it, it's very tough to deal with if your opponent is not in the position to deal with it. Good leg cut kind of shuts down Piper's mobility, and he goes for a very telegraphed attack that is punished right away. Wow. Just a series of attacks from Piper, and that drawing slash manages to land when Ezekiel thought he had a chance there and went for an attack of his own. That sidestep is very good, though, aimed at the leg. Very high damage move despite being a low cut because of that wind-up it has. That was very anime right there. What Piper just did. Didn't even look at his opponent. He just went forward and slashed. There's very samurai, if you will. I can just imagine blood splattering the screen as Piper goes low and cuts open the belly. And there's a cut to the head. Very dominant performance for Piper, but it is not over yet. Ezekiel has at least one more chance to stay in this tournament, and I think a lot of people will be happy if he's eliminated. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Ezekiel. Looks like Piper's still good to go. Let me know if it continues. We'll be switching sides. Yeah, that was a beautiful attack. I think Victor just saw that. Okay, Ezekiel on the left, Piper on the right. I got pinged, so just give me a sec. No worries, as usual at your games. Want to redo, Piper asks. No? Okay. Yeah, sometimes we allow those sort of gentleman agreements if something was wrong, especially for both players. Usually that's when we'll do that, but in this case, it seems like it was only the one player, and Ezekiel doesn't seem dead set on it, so... Alright, I'm glad it's nothing unusual at least, but thank you for letting me know. Okay, Piper, good sportsmanship, I gotta say. Despite being an aggressive player, he does give the opponent a chance to confirm that they're ready to go. You stepped away and came back to that amazing strike, yeah. Piper doubling up the swings here. Ezekiel actually ahead. He does really well on other hosts, actually. Ezekiel. Piper, too, actually. Sometimes Piper, you can't even tell that he's from the UK when he plays. And I don't know how Piper got the double there, but he did. Despite the 2 stabs from Ezekiel. And there's another double. That one made more sense, though. They both clearly hit each other. Wise. Sidestep from Piper. Both trying to snipe each other, going low. Piper for the high-low game, then the whirlwind as Ezekiel goes to the side. That was a little bit of a mistake there, as it gave Piper the angle that he needed. Piper wrapping around somehow doesn't land the hit, though. Samuel's guard is pretty solid. Stab there. And that's a double. Very good try from Ezekiel, but Piper still moves forward. Gets that hit. There's a nice snipe from Piper. That back wide exposing Ezekiel's hand. Alexander can actually be pretty good at doing that. Punishing those sort of probing attacks because he moves forward so efficiently. Goes low. That's another for Piper. This is like the immovable object versus the unstoppable force. Or the unbreakable shield versus the unstoppable spear. But it looks like the unstoppable force slash the unstoppable spear that is Piper is coming out on top. And there it is. Again, Ezekiel was trying to sidestep to find an angle, I think, but in doing so, Piper just moved forward and landed that whirlwind attack. So, good try from Ezekiel. That was definitely a more disputed round, but Piper is a tough opponent to deal with, especially if your character is not suited for the matchup. Appreciate the sportsmanship on both sides, too. Let's get Oak and Luck in here now. Well, it's hard to see what Piper's doing even at the best of times, so I can't imagine how tough that was with lag on top of it. Yeah, I don't envy you. Well, hopefully next time you get a better experience, because that's always kind of crappy, even if it's typical. But Piper did well to exploit his advantage, and he took it. Oak will take the left side, Luck will take the right side. This is going to be a banger. It is the loser's bracket, but both of these fighters, especially Oak, are very elite. Oak has just been doing incredible lately in these tournaments. I got pinged. Let me just double check what's going on with that. Because of that, you play on Venators much more. Yeah, Venator, for similar reasons, used to not play on my host, so I get it. It's totally understandable. Some people's connections just aren't compatible. We could have tried Steam if you wanted, but in hindsight, but that's okay. Oak, you're on the left, by the way. Should have keyboard. Oh, I didn't accept you, apparently. Okay, let's try that again. Oak should be able to take the left side. Luck will be on the right. There it is. Laszlo against Isabella. Classic matchup ever since the days of Warden against Victorious, which would be in 2021, if you guys can believe it. That's how far back our community goes. There's that sidestep from Oak. And then Womjack was a good Laszlo back then, too. Very tough opponent. I think Oak is probably the favorite here just because he's been winning so many tournaments, so he's definitely hoping to stay in it. That's a B cut there from Luck, making it 2-1. Snap cut, now it's 2-2. Very good performance from Luck, bringing it back rapidly there. Definitely looking like a high-level match so far from both of them. Beautiful counter to X cut, doesn't quite land it, and that's a double. Here for the long swords and Miss Izzy, I appreciate that, Victor. Isabella as a character is definitely up there in my favorites. As far as playing the game, though, Barabash, 100%, obviously, is my main. But, yeah, I respect that. In fact, Isabella is the character I started with, so if she were better than she is now, it's definitely not impossible that I get back to the longsword. 3-3. Luck was ahead briefly, but not anymore. Oak punishes those slight mistakes that you make. very precise player. And actually, I'm glad Parsec is working better for Oak. We actually switched to Steam last time, and that fixed whatever problem he was having. Luck does the snap cut after the stab, and that was beautifully placed. He put the blade right on the arm there, and just did a snap cut. That's a double. Isabella with a saber? Yeah, a waifu with a saber would be fantastic, and I don't consider Marina to fit that bill, despite the fact she has a saber. She has a shield, and I don't know, I just prefer a single saber, personally. But if she had a saber, that would be kind of cool. What I will say, though, is Isabella is definitely the best girl. There is no contest there. Even with the long sword. Because the others use rapiers, and rapiers are filthy. Yeah, it's funny. I kind of expected Marina to be more feral. Because she's called a she-wolf, right? She's like a bandit leader and stuff like that. But she really wasn't. She really isn't. I wouldn't describe her as feral. She's more like a sort of crime lord. Which is what she is, to be fair. It's just, if I was thinking modern media, that's kind of the vibe she gives off. She doesn't give off the vibe of someone who's feral. Yeah. So that's not to criticize Kubl's decision so much, it's just I'm kind of surprised that's what we ended up with, given the initial reveal. Okay, Luck will take the left side now. Oak will take the right. Luck actually secured that first win, so that's pretty huge for him, I would say. Tartars were known for their ferocity and speed. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's how the Mongols often tricked people. They would attack you, and then suddenly they'd melt away, or they'd pretend to be retreating, and then all of a sudden you're encircled once your formation has been disrupted, or you're isolated from the rest of your troops. And a lot of their tactics were actually based on hunting, believe it or not. That's kind of where they got the idea for a lot of their tactics. And that's not just the Mongols, a lot of the nomadic groups learned their way of fighting that way. Herding animals and encircling them and these sorts of things. And that's why they always give their opponents an avenue of escape. That's actually an art of war idea. It's not just a Mongol idea, but when the Mongols encircled you, they never completely encircled you. They would always leave that avenue for you to run out of, so that it's easier to kill you, because you're not fighting to the death. You're actually fighting just to flee. And so it's much easier to shoot people down or to cut people down who are doing that than if they're sort of forming a circle and fighting you. So, anyway, a little bit of a historical tangent there. But let's get back to the fight. Hit to the arm. But Luck is also tired. That's quite an exchange. They've both... Oh, Luck went for a push there, and I don't blame him, but maybe a grab would have been better? Or perhaps just blocking, but easy to say in hindsight. I don't blame him for trying that. It was quite an exchange all the same. Both of the fighters just fought to complete exhaustion, almost. Good sidestep there. Oak now has a lead. A very slight lead, but it's still a lead. This is where momentum can swing back in his favor, which is not what Luck wants. Luck wants to capitalize on the fact that he has that first win, and there it is, 4-4. We could see this come down to the final round. This rate, the YX, and that was used to oppose the high guard cut. That could have been messy. But Oak stays safe, as does Luck. And that was very close there. Luck managing to stay solid as Oak jumps in with that cut. Very dangerous cut against Isabella. Upcut into stab. Luck is getting really creative with some of these attacks. And it's managing to catch Oak in between when he's moving in and out. That stab to the arm, it doesn't kill, but it's a good hit. Luck still staying solid. Nicely done. Very good reaction time on his part. He's such a fast opponent, but Oak catches him there as I say that with that combo of his. It's one of the moves he loves throwing with Laszlo. That lunge is dodged by Luck. That was beautiful. Oak probably thought for sure that was going to hit when Luck lowered his guard like that, but Luck was able to get out of the way. And to do that with a character who's not known for speed is pretty impressive. Isabella's speed is like mid-level when it comes to movement at best. But yeah, Oak overcommitted just slightly, and there's the upcut, false edge cut, and what did I say? It came down to the final round, regardless of outcome. Luck for the upcut and the thrust. Oak is ready for it this time. And there's that sidestep again, trying to snipe the hand. Oak again tries it. It doesn't land. Y cut. Luck with the X cut. Luck dashes him to push, but the snap cut right after. He fumbled the push, but he kept attacking, which was the right call, I think. Otherwise, Oak could have recovered. And Luck, believe it or not, after that hectic flag right there, actually does take it. And that is 2-0. Very impressive from Luck. A very disputed match all the same. Don't let that score fool you, but Luck did fantastic there. Luck says he should have died there. Yeah, maybe if Oak was ready with a back Y, that would have been it. But managed to stay in it. Good job with the snap cut. That's what you needed to do. You had to just make sure Oak dies, whatever happens. Info against Piper now. And I'll be right back after a bathroom break. I'll just make sure you guys can get in and fight, because I don't want to hold you guys up with that. Okay, making sure Info only has keyboard. And Info, you'll start out on the left side. Piper will be on the right. And this match will complete round 2 in the loser's bracket. Then we'll head back to the winner's bracket, where we've got some interesting fights coming up, such as me versus Venator. The competition is going to get more fierce as we go, but I'm sure a lot of people are happy to see Oak out of the competition. He's definitely one of the most feared fencers lately. Piper going with Marta against Maria, very nice pick. Anyway, I'll be right back. Hey, I'm back. Oh, that's a double after the push there. That looked like some hectic flags for both of them. But it is 1-1. Cut in the thrust. Piper dipping under of Marta. Marta is usually considered stronger, but in a rapier fight it can be a bit more even, since Marie can win by the point in very subtle ways, just like Marta. Piper going back Y, but back Y isn't as useful against Marie if she's able to outreach with some kind of lunge. There's the triangle from Info. Info being a rapier master, it's a little bit surprising Piper didn't go with Alex, but I think he doesn't want to get stabbed a lot. Alex is very vulnerable to that. And there's the double lunge. It's one of those moves like the corkscrew that you gotta be ready for, otherwise it will blast through your long guard. Going for the triangle, but it is parried. Cuts from Piper. A stab, another stab, another stab, and another stab. That's Marta for you. She just showers you with attacks sometimes, like a sewing machine. He wants Shaman from For Honor. Yeah, Feral is he kind of sounds like that. I will say though that is kind of a gripe I have with the depiction of Mongols and other like Turkic nomadic groups. Just this idea that they're all feral and they're unsophisticated, they can't read, and they're just barbarians. I don't like that depiction because they're much more sophisticated than people give them credit for. Although I do get what Venator's trying to get at, like this idea of a brutal female saberist. It would still be cool. I just hope Kubel wouldn't turn that into some kind of trope or something. Because I've seen that in Ghost of Tsushima, for example. The Mongols are just barbarians for some reason, despite having better technology. At least they showed that. But then you have the Mongols just acting like blatant barbarians, and it's just weird. Especially because that invasion was more so Han Chinese people and Koreans. So, kind of bizarre, but, you know. Piper takes this one, though. Actually, the Mongols that would have been present with them most likely would have been more elite troops as well, since the majority were levied troops from China and Korea. So you'd be looking at more sophisticated warriors for sure amongst the Mongols. Okay, Piper and Info will be fighting again. Fan of space barbarians. Yeah, Piper definitely main a character like that. Okay, Piper's on the left now. He did win the previous fight, which is definitely a big win for him. Winning a rapier match against a rapier specialist. Info goes back to Marie. I'm surprised she wouldn't go with Marta, who's probably a stronger rapier overall. Yeah, I think Axe plus Dagger would be a little Hollywoody for my taste. It's not that nobody ever did that. There definitely are cases of it, but it doesn't seem to have been a typical setup, especially to duel swords and stuff like that with. Unless you had, like, nothing else. But one-handed axe could still be pretty cool. The Fokosh is kind of a semi-one-handed axe. It can be used either two-handed or one-handed. That's the axe that Yendrik uses in this game. Cut attempt there, aimed at the head, but Piper doesn't quite land it. And actually, Info is doing great this time around. That's the thing with a first round. Anything can happen. And sometimes somebody who's more experienced just needs that time to warm up. We're seeing that here with Info. Cutting the thrust there, but there's a cut to the head. Piper getting his first point. There's a stab from Info. Info needing one more to make it 1-1. Dashing in, that was a bit of a mistake there by Info. And Piper is able to capitalize. Okay. 1-1. Okay, switch sides. We're not done just yet. Info managing to take that one. Very convincingly, might I add. Will Piper make a switch? No, he will stick with Marta. Info making the smart pick here after making those adjustments. I think the play is definitely to go back to Marie, which is interesting. It's definitely not a typical situation where that's the ideal pick, strictly speaking. But no, Marie is definitely the character Info should use here at this point. Piper takes the first one, though. Anything can happen. Piper has played Marta before. He's more of an Alex main, but he can do some work with Marta if needed. Definitely not impossible. Stab to the leg, though. It's going to take out his mobility. That dash was a big mistake from Info. Getting way too close there. But I see why Info did it. She wanted to just end the flag right there. It's tough to do against a prepared opponent, though. They both go for a cut. There's a push from Piper. He gets run through the neck. Very stylish. Stab attempts from both of them. Piper securing another flag. Wide cuts there from Info. They both trade. Interesting, they open with cuts. Often that's not the best idea because your point's offline, and it makes it easier for the rapier to simply stab you. But under the right circumstances, it can beat the blade or get a kill up close. Piper with another flag. That's kind of been the theme of this match. Like, one fighter dominates the other, and it's kind of been alternating, but that's in favor of Piper at this point, the sort of trend, because it started with Piper dominating the match, and then Info got her chance to shine, but now Piper, once again, has a chance to shine. Sometimes fights go like that. There's a parry with that tired swing. Info gets a deserved kill there. That's cool that she parried with the tired swing, though. I've never seen that before. Double lunge. Stab, but Info is too close to be throwing the stab. That particular stab, just, you can see how her arm bent awkwardly, and that's because she was too close. So, turns out that particular move is not the move. Piper was too close for it. There's 2 hits from Info. Going for a wide cut there, and up close, that definitely was the right move this time. Piper goes for a dash into a thrust. There's a double lunge, but that back Y is a beautiful counter. Leg cuts, though. Very risky move, I have to say, from Info. Often not the correct one, but it works here. Piper with a bunch of stabs. They trade stabs. That's not good for Info, especially being down so many flags. You do not want to take a risk like that if you can avoid it. Sometimes you have no choice, though. All it takes is a subtle mistake. Info with another kill. Piper has to be careful. In Quartada, there's the double lunge. Retreat cut. Nice combination from Info, but no kill. It did take out some of Piper's mobility, though, so now Info can try and dictate the engagement. That was a trade, not the ideal trade, but thankfully the stab didn't hit the head. Bunch of stabs from Piper. Interesting, he's not going for the side steps, he's going for the sort of twirly thrust, but that is a pretty formidable move as well. That is a double. Piper somehow taps the head and decks a double. Probably did a little back Y at last second there. Dashing in there, and there's the double lunge. Piper going for a push, but it is not enough there. Info is quicker on the punch there. Quicker in the draw. That's a trade of hits there. Again, not usually ideal for Marie here. There's a cut to the head. That stab barely missing. Piper missing with the cut, but he keeps going. And Piper takes it. That was actually much more disputed than it originally looked like it was going to be. And there's the snap, indicating that Piper took it. But nice fight. Very entertaining rapier fight. Now I'm fighting Venator. And this is going to be a tough one. But I think it'll be a fantastic fight regardless of that. Worse on input left side. Interesting. Some people actually are. You're not the only one. Although most people prefer the left side slightly. Some people do prefer the right side actually. At a high level, it often doesn't matter, but sometimes it can. Especially if you're trying to look for specific angles and it's harder to see that angle given the side you're on. Just objectively, regardless of skill or how good you are at inputs, that can also play a role. And I'm sure this one will be epic. Fighting against Venator. I'll be quiet, as I gotta focus on this one. Make sure I knock Venator out of here. He's another one of those players you really want knocked out ASAP, if you can help it. Going with Yon, one of his best characters. Alright, let's see what happens. Okay. Yeah, no worries, Venator. Just long guard when you're ready. Awesome, let's go. Okay, nice round. That was much tougher than the score might tell you. Had to be locked in the whole time. Okay, switch sides. I'll do it for you. And I'm not going to reinvent the wheel, of course. Samuel. I've seen Venator play Sam a few times. I'm sure he's experimented with them and labbed some stuff, so. A little bit surprising, but Sam is a very solid character overall, so. Definitely not a picnic. GG, Venator. That was a tough one. Very good, Samuel. Is this game multiplayer now? Sorry, I could not answer your question there. That was a tough fight. It is not multiplayer because there's, in the sense that there's not native multiplayer, but we do have a server that you can join. It's in the description, and you can also join through the link on my channel. And what we do is we play this through Parsec or Steam Remote, and it works pretty well, as you might have seen just now. So, highly recommend joining us. The reason there's no native multiplayer, of course, is because the technology doesn't exist for it, because we are playing essentially a game with a non-deterministic physics engine. And so there's a lot of problems that haven't been solved yet with making this game multiplayer, as in native online multiplayer. But we do it through Parsec, and if you join the server, you can find people to play with right away, pretty much. People are active pretty much 24 hours. And we run tournaments weekly from Wednesday to Sunday, actually, sometimes. Especially Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Those are the most reliable days. So if you want to participate in these events, all you got to do is join the Discord. And you don't even need the game. That's the nice part about it. But I assume you do have the game because you're very familiar with it, from what you're saying. Anyway, Lange Connect against Tau. Tau is already joining, so I'll just ping Lange Connect. Did better than I expected. Yeah, you did really well. Oh yeah, also Lange Connect, if you want Steam, let me know. You don't have to join through Parsec if that's gonna be a problem. Rejoin Steam Remote. Yeah, that's not a problem. I just remembered you did better, and I'm glad we didn't have to restart the game. Sometimes you have to do that when we're using the different programs. Oh, you were still in Steam Remote, it looks like, this whole time, but you want to rejoin? Yeah. Yeah, just join that link. Yeah, it's not a problem. And this fight will decide who Piper gets to fight. Venator against Luck will be a really exciting fight as well. Watch the whole thing without delay. Oh, so it was fine? Okay. Well, you can use that link I sent you. Alright, I thought you had to reconnect for some reason, but it's not a big deal. Let me... Alright, Tau is still here. Beautiful. And let me just double check the sides. Lange Connect will take the left side, and Tau will take the right side. Yeah, it was very high level, especially that Samuel. I mean, not that Venator doesn't play a high level Yawn, he absolutely does, but I think he was... And I think Venator would agree with me, he was more locked in with Samuel today. Whatever the reason might be, sometimes that happens, even if it's a character you don't necessarily expect. Lange Connect on the left, like I said, Tau on the right. Beautiful, we got Tarnowski against Yawn. Traditionally, Yawn, I should say, takes this matchup, but Lange Connect is something else. He gave Oak some pretty significant problems, so Tau's got to be on his toes. That's a nice quirk. And I'll be right back. My cat wants out of the room. Before she starts meowing her head off, I'll let her out. Alright, I'm back. You guys might have heard that, I'm not sure, because I have my mic set such that it doesn't pick up a lot of background noise, but she did indeed meow just now. Have to walk his cat. Yep. Yep. Feel somewhat bad, of course, because she was struggling to sleep over there, but I mean, she picked the spot, so it is what it is. She seems happy now, so just wants out to eat some food or something. It was a cute meow, yeah. It definitely was. Nice, takes the hand right off. Tao putting up a good fight. What's your take on For Honor? I think it used to be good. Like, sooner after it came out it was good, but then they started adding a bunch of unbalanced characters, so for me anyway, it's no longer fun. And also it's a Ubisoft game, so I'm not really a fan. I don't play any Ubisoft games anymore because of their bad business practices and stuff like that. So it's a shame though, because it was a good game back in the day, and as was Rainbow Six Siege, but they kind of ruined that one too. And yeah, that's kind of my take on it. I'm also big into history, so I'm not really a fan anymore of the caricatures they have of a lot of the characters. I know it's not technically a historical game, so you know, you can kind of cut them slack on a lot of stuff, but for instance, the Mongol character looked really disappointing that they included, and some of the others did too. It's just not my thing. It was when I was younger, it was definitely a lot of fun, but I think I've also kind of outgrown this whole Deadliest Warrior, like which warrior will win this type of stuff, so lots of duels. Yeah, yeah, when it came out, it was a blast. I'll definitely say that. And I know I was distracted, but Landsknecht actually took this one. Okay, hang on, guys. I know we're eager for some blood, but I gotta switch the names. Appreciate the enthusiasm, though. Alright, you guys can fight. Sorry about the wait. SKG European Initiative. Nice, damn. Definitely stuff like this game or Kingdom Come Deliverance, that's been more my speed now as far as sword fighting games. Half Sword as well, I'll play a little bit of that from time to time. That was more of a casual game, of course, but I find that one fun too. Very good stress relief type game. Especially if you don't play the Gauntlet mode and you just play the free mode. That's where the game is at its best. Big cuts there from Landsknecht. Gets punished. Tao is doing very well this time around. We might see a repeat of some of the fights we've seen before, where one fighter dominates, then the other one dominates. And then the third is either up in the air, or the other person just happens to be on the side. They're doing better, and so they win type thing. But we'll see. Landsknecht is still doing really well. It's not really a significant difference anymore. Landsknecht really loves that subtle blade beat move into that high guard cut. Very nice combination. And again, some nice combos. Tao trying to catch him with a grab, but too far. The cork, though. Tao is trying to find those opportunities to land the cork to interrupt Landsknecht. It's a double. Landsknecht is behind in flags now. This could come down to the third round. Stab to the hand, doesn't land. Hits the hand protection of Jan. That little D guard, as it's often called, or knuckle bow. Either term is correct. Yeah, this is a very even fight now. Nice to see that the back Y from Tao does land. But it's not a very powerful blow. There's a very substantial blow, I would say, from Landsknecht, but Tao thankfully survives it. The stab nearly landing. Tao with good instincts backs off just in time. That could have been Landsknecht's flag very easily. Threatening that dash and stab, which is forcing Tao to move back, because he doesn't want to eat that stab after taking a hit. That's pretty much a guaranteed kill, if he does. Stab attempt. Tao almost committing to the corkscrew, it looked like. And there's the dash and stab, a very subtle move, but effective for Tarnowski. It's a very choppy blade that he's got there. So you don't expect it to be as good as it is at stabbing, but it does have a good enough point to stab someone who's unarmored for sure. It would still do the job. And actually, Landsknecht manages to take it both rounds. Landsknecht is just an absolute beast this tournament. Taking out two great competitors here who people are definitely hoping to see eliminated as soon as possible. He took out Oak 2-0. He took out Tao 2-0. And now I've got to fight him very soon. But we'll wait on that fight. We'll give Landsknecht a chance to relax here. And I'm going to kick you from Steam Remote just for bandwidth's sake, Landsknecht. But I'll let you back in when it's your turn. Pure hate that helped you against Jan, right? Because Jan is one of your worst matchups. Yeah, understandable. Jan is a tough character for pretty much anybody. But I think especially Tarnowski. Alright, Venator against Luck. This tournament has had quite the number of twists there with that performance from Landsknecht. With Tarnowski too, who I think at one point was kind of written off as being average to kind of bad, but now Landsknecht is using him very well and proving that he is indeed a very good character. You just gotta play him different. His tempo is totally different from anyone else, so you gotta take advantage of that. Okay, Venator will take the left. Luck will take the right. It is just elite players at this point, and yes, Landsknecht is definitely an elite player. If there was any doubt before, I think he has shown us that he is indeed able to take on the best. Okay, Venator on the left, Luck on the right. This fight will be a banger, I'm sure. Luck will have to be on his toes because Venator is here to win. He showed me that, especially of Samuel, that he's not going to just give away flags for the sake of it. I say that he goes with Zera, which is a curious pick. He might know something because I know he's very familiar with Zera's tricks, even if he hasn't played Zera a lot. So we'll see what Venator comes up with. Venator lands a hit there. Maybe trying to rely on the fact that Zera has a really strong guard, believe it or not, despite being a drunk monk. His passive guard is very good, he just exposes himself with a lot of his attacks. But that back Y is very good at compensating for that. Yeah, I think Venator might know something about this matchup. Isabella is typically considered stronger, but oh, that was a big mistake, and Venator immediately capitalizes. Luck obviously didn't want that move, he wanted to do the high guard cut, but it's a very easy move to accidentally throw. That sort of crappy Zwerkow, which is a shame because the Zwerkow in real life, and in games like Kingdom Come Deliverance, is actually a very good move. So it's a shame to see it in this one. It's not the best for Isabella. Zera has a version of it that's a little bit better. But it's not really a Zwerk copter. It's just an exaggerated drunkard's move. High guard cut from Luck, landing on the arm. Stab there from Venator. Luck again landing a slight hit, but that back Y proving difficult for Luck, and a stab to the face. Even though it kind of grazed the face, it did kill Luck for some reason. It definitely has some killing power. And there it is, Venator taking it 7-1. That is a huge victory for him. Yeah, Luck's got to get his head in the game. Venator's doing some wizardry here with Zera. Okay, let's switch sides. I've said before that Samuel and Zera in some ways do play similar too, so maybe there's some logic in that respect as well to his pick. He's going to go back to Zera, proving that Zera is still a viable pick. I know there's going to be a lot of debates back and forth about Isabella versus Zera. There always has been, but I don't know. I think they can still take each other on, as long as you know how to use Zera. Zera is probably harder to use in some ways, but yeah, I think they can still take each other on. And so this is a puzzle that Luck is going to have to solve. I don't think he's very familiar with Venator Zera. Venator doesn't play Zera very much after all. I wouldn't be super familiar with it either, although I have fought it before. That's 3 hits for Luck, but he manages to score. Luck's going to want to use his tighter movements in Zera to snipe the hand before Venator can do anything, but oh, actually he wins that one. Okay, that was a little surprising, but Luck did get it. He's probably very happy with that. Looks like he's starting to adapt there. Nice blade beat from Venator. Venator goes on the attack, and Luck takes advantage of that recovery. This might be a dominant performance for Luck at this rate, which would be huge. Push attempt from Venator too far. That stab, though, very lethal for Zera. You gotta find a way to get out of the way of it or long guard it in time. Otherwise, it will get you. And there's that subtle X stab, too, that Venator likes throwing. Wide cuts from Venator. There's the push from Luck. Luck doesn't finish it, though. He finishes it this time. Very deserved flag, I would say, for Luck. Luck just needs to be a little quicker on the draw. But that happens when things get hectic. There you go, Luck with another flag. Very good adjustments from Luck against that Zera. Now he's going to finish it, make it 1-1. Push from Venator, but because Luck was in active phase, it did not land. There's a stab, but a very telegraphed one. I don't think he wanted that stab. I think he wanted the one from the other foot forward. Very easy to accidentally do, though, especially if you're not familiar with Zera. That is a kill for Venator, though, making it 6-2 for Luck. Snap cut attempt. They both go for kind of a similar type of attack. Venator lands a hit. Venator is definitely not going down without a fight. If he can win this round and make that comeback, that is still a win for him. Oh, that's a high guard cut from Luck, making it 1-1. Now we'll see if Venator will switch characters or not. He's shown that he can definitely win this matchup, but Luck's adjustments might be a little bit too much. We will see. I don't want to influence his pick, though. If Venator wants to keep experimenting with Zera, by all means, continue. And he does just that. I'm sure Victor's happy to see the longsword fighting. The first longsword fight of the tournament, I think, too. Like, we haven't seen that, really. It's all been sabers for the most part. A little bit of rapier, a little bit of longsword here and there, but really mostly sabers. Oh, and info use calc, too. We saw a little bit of broadsword, but definitely less of it than even the longsword at this point. Preemptive attacks from Luck, but there's the back Y. Venator's just locked in here. USFC says Team Luck, so Luck has the official support of the host of the USFC. That is the other event that we run on this in our community. So that's a huge endorsement. Let's see if Luck can make something happen. That stab does not land. Big fight here for both of them. Venator just going ham with these big wide swings, and there's a kill. Luck's defense just got battered there, as did his stamina. Didn't have a chance to reply there. We haven't seen a lot of those combos lately from Zera. Just the chains going YX and these sorts of moves. And windmills. But it's good to see they are viable. Some people dismiss them because they're a little slow, but I think there's opportunities to land them if you find them. Oh, the high guard cut takes the hand right off. And the sword got deleted because the hand came off. That's a bug that Zera has had for quite some time. But at least it doesn't affect anything because the hand came off, so there's no chance of the sword doing damage. I feel like it mainly happens when enough force is exerted to the body part. And the game just has an unsolvable scenario, so the weapon goes away. I don't know. I'm not a programmer, so I might be completely wrong. But Luck takes another flag. Going for a cut there, Luck. The X cut. Beating the blade 2 times. Almost gets the high guard cut right after, but Venator keeps distance. There's a stab. Luck really needs to change something here, or he will be out of the tournament.
What a fight, what a fight. Could not resist myself and had to join.
I appreciate it, Vinu. I'll let you in after this this round, whatever happens.
Yeah, Venator is on a nice lead, it seems.
Yeah.
It's so nice to have him back.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in one of my events. A rarer sight lately. But we've learned that he can fight on my host, so hope to see more of him.
Nice.
Back Y. Yeah, Venator needs one more. Luck needs 3 more, though. It's not insurmountable. That could have been it for Luck, but that strike managed to land. I like how Venator sometimes pauses. I think it throws Luck off. Oh, and there's a stab to the face.
Yeah, Venator is playing just perfectly, really. Keeping perfect range and counters, and yeah, Luck is not being able to find it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, good games though, guys. That was fun to watch. Tao against Piper now.
Nice. They are in chat and they're talking about this matchup and getting prepared for each other. So
Nice.
it's nice to see like what they're gonna maybe come out against each other. But this should be a banger.
Yeah. And the winner of this fight, we'll fight Venator, but I think we'll give the winner a break, and I'll fight Landsknecht.
All right. Damn, and even more exciting, whoever wins gonna fight Venator. Damn. And then like the winner of that fight, I assume gonna fight you. Well, the winner of this fight, Landschaft is seemingly doing very well, or
Mhm.
beating Oken and Tao and like Wiggly. Like damn, that's a serious streak right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that is funny. Piper tried to join Peckler's Parsec out of nowhere, but he was trying to click on mine, I think. That's funny. Funny things that can happen with Parsec.
Yep,
Oh yeah, did you can join by the way, Vinu. The
yep,
link
I
that's
joined.
there.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. As for the sides, Tao on the left, Piper on the right. And I think this one will be a banger too. It's really all elite players at this point. There's no novices or greenhorns. Like Landsknecht has proven he's the best Tarnovsky, I would say, in the server. So
100%.
King Vinu in the house, Venator says. Some
Damn,
support
thank
for
you.
Piper from Chernobyl. Venator's a Terminator of dreams. Yeah, kind of turned out to be in that fight.
What a fast start for Tao. And I love that he picked the Gideon in this one, like really giving us a perfect showcase of speed and accuracy, and it's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah.
Maybe a very quick one.
Yeah, Piper's fights can be very quick, whether it's him dominating the fight or somebody else winning. That's how they often go.
Yeah.
Eve's in the chat.
So
If you want to commentate, by the way, Eve, you can join us as well, but you don't have to.
yeah.
We got Vinu in the house. We're doing fine.
About Piper, you know, Sword has two edges, you know.
Hmm.
It's like his fight style, you know, it either hurts your enemy or yourself.
Yeah. Knee there, nice from Tao.
Wow, that was MMA.
Yeah,
Knee to the like stomach and then like over the neck.
beautiful. Yeah, Tao's been training some Muay Thai with Gideon. That's a double, wow.
That old guy still got some moves.
Yeah, upcut, X cut. That's wow. That's
Damn,
it for the first
GG.
round. That's huge, and we're gonna switch sides now. Piper needs to change something, otherwise Tao will punish him every time. Yeah, same picks. I love it. This is a really cool matchup.
Yep. Yeah, hoping for Piper to right now win this round, in case that there's gonna be a third round.
Yeah, A to B there doesn't get through. I'm surprised. Good try from Tao. Goes low. Piper's the kind of guy who uses his defense as an offensive tool. He just keeps moving forward.
I don't think he has even word defense in his vocabulary.
No.
Vocabulary, it's only forward,
Yeah.
which can be a very tough matchup against a guy who's like who can counter a style
Hmm.
perfectly well.
Definitely.
Yeah, perfect moment there. Just steps in. And yeah.
Yeah, it's a double. Much more even this time.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit fight slow down
Yeah.
and exchange there. Was bloody and tired.
Ooh. But forces the double.
Yeah, Piper might be finding the angles now.
Ooh. But he
Oh
blocks
no,
it.
wrong attack.
He cut. Yeah, hit the hilt of the blade there.
Oh,
I'm sure Towers as surprised as we are that it. Whoa, back Y. Surprised as we are that that got through.
yeah,
Or didn't get through. I should say.
100%.
Good snipe from Piper. Again, to the head this time. Nice.
Almost. Nice retreat cut there. Saves tower.
Ballsy lunge there, but it's a very good move in this matchup.
Yep. Yeah, the range control is gone for Piper. Oh, he breaks to the block actually.
Yeah, through the weak
It got
blade.
followed up.
Good battle wound there in the face.
Yeah, that's cool. If he survives, that's gonna be a cool story.
Yeah,
Oh,
big cut.
but
It's a double. There will be no stories told by either of them. Oh, but there's the hand. Piper's gonna lock in. This could be it. Oh, he does the. It's a double. Alright.
very flashy.
Yeah. That's what we love about Piper. Oh, I thought he was gonna jump there. But still.
GG.
Yeah, Tao takes it. Quick and flashy. Tao will be fighting Venator. That'll also be a really nice fight. But for now, I'll fight Landsknecht.
Very nice.
No, I think we'll keep Dusak as a saber. I know it's kind of a different weapon, but at the same time the gameplay is similar, so we kind of decided it would be a saber, especially because I don't think it's actually that much shorter than Laszlo's weapon. So if Laszlo's weapon is a saber, then might as well call this one a saber. That's kind of how we think about it, but I get what you're saying though. It's kind of the descendant of the Messer, and so it's kind of closer to weapons like that or the Cutlass and stuff like that, but it's close enough to being a saber that we decided it's a saber as far as competition goes. It makes saber more interesting too, the meta, that we have somebody with such a different tempo who hits so much harder. So I think it's good for the saber tournaments to have that variety. But like I said, if you use the same weapon the whole tournament, especially a major one like this, you've got chances to earn those weapon titles. So okay, I'm on the left and Landsknecht is on the right. He is in Steam, so we're ready to go. Just gonna make sure he's got keyboard, and definitely not gonna underestimate him because he just defeated 2 elite players, and I could be next. So
Yeah, that's very exciting. Can line check pull it out, pull it off like with such a win streak? Come on top or on top or you're gonna be stopped right now. Alright, nice snap cut to start for Subotai. But that's very fast rush in. Just like there. And goes into a stab. Interesting tech. Damn, snap cut into a twist. Subotai with a nice lead. Looking so far so good. Lusak really has to step up a little bit. Find a counter to this. Oh, and but yeah, that's a harsh one. Always love when Subotai pulls it off and again tries to go. Yeah. Damn. Just like that. Just like that. Landscheid. Damn, difficult name. Land. Russian is looking really good, like very fast. But it seems to not be able to penetrate the defense so far. Maybe even like cost it quite a lot of times. Again goes with the grab, Subotai, but and again with the grab. Oh, that's persistence. Third time the charm. What a finish. What a finish. That was brutal. After such a streak like that, but you know, comebacks are still possible, but damn, that's a stoppage.
Okay, let's switch sides.
Alright, we're just checking the chat. But nothing so far. And Subotai with a nice move left. Wow, that was just crazy fucking flurry of swords. And was not expecting that. And not a sidestep. Landscheid's character was locked in and did not switch positions. Like that, like 3 times. Ahead now. Alright, active blocking. Love to see that. But a leg hit and a snap cut, but Landscheid is able to get a double. Landscheid seems to be trying to be a little bit more precise. Subotai keeping the offensive. Alright. Thanks from Landscheid, but Subotai was able to stop it very fast. Another double. Yeah, guard exchange. Landscheid really trying to approach from many perspectives right now. But just constant aggression. Just breaking him off the guard. Be very hard. I missed that pass with the guard. Right, that was a leg hit. That really looked like a leg hit, but the movement was not effective. And damn, Zuda just needs one more. And what a finish.
GG.
That was good stuff. And what a stoppage too. Such a run for Lansak, but he might still go back, but damn, these two fights, he seemed to be a little bit uh, overwhelmed with the
Yeah.
offensive.
Yeah, I was just trying to take advantage of his speed and any mistake that he made. Okay, Venator against Tau. Tau already connecting. He's excited for this fight.
Nice. Oh, that's gonna be a great fight, but I'm gonna be right back in
Okay.
5 seconds.
Okay. They're both here. And just to look at the sides here, Venator will fight Tau. And unfortunately, we can't avoid this just because of where we're at in the tournament. Whoever wins this fight will have to fight again, and we'll have to fight Lange Connect. But if you guys need a break particularly badly, you know, just let me know. We can definitely do that. We're doing just fine for time. A little bit long because we got 11 people and we're doing double elimination with full flags, but it's not overly long for an event like this. And we're wrapping it up very soon, so. Laszlo against Gideon, that's exciting. Venator showing he can mix it up with some sabers.
Damn. Haven't seen Saber and Venator in one ward for a very long time.
Yeah, times are changing. That's a flag
Very
for
cool to
Venator.
see. Damn, that was brutal. Right
Yeah.
to the lobe. Yeah, I'm loving the Laszlo from Venator. Especially Red Boots. Team Laszlo, let's go.
Billy lunge. Makes Tau tired after that sequence and that stab. Yeah, being tired in
quick.
this matchup is death.
Nice counter there to sidestep.
Something else too, especially if Venator and Tau stick to sabers. This is essentially a saber only final stretch of the tournament. Especially if we consider Tarnowski's Dusak one of them.
It's times of Saber superiority, it seems.
Yep. Yeah, and this
Still
is
got some long sword,
yeah,
but yeah.
yeah. More or less, I would say this is the trend we've been seeing lately. Venator is an exception sometimes with Isabella, because he's just that good with Isabella. But objectively speaking, it's really the saber players that often make it to the end. But you know, there's some outliers. Ezekiel uses Marta very well and can take anybody on. Marta's still strong and all. I think people just don't like playing her as much as the sabers.
Yeah. There's a lot of Sabers and they're very fun to play.
Yeah.
100%.
As we speak, this is a very even fight.
Yeah. Last catch from tower was amazing. Like, stab into a hand slash.
Yeah.
Now both hit.
Looks like Venator might be worse off though, especially because of the HP pool difference. If he has to make it clean. Stab attempt, Tau goes back. Good reaction.
Yeah, Gideon is a tank, but his stamina cannot tank too much.
Ooh.
And then belly slash.
Another interesting thing, by the way, is that most of the people in this final stretch are from Europe. We got Landsknecht, who's from Russia, Venator from Romania, Tau from Russia. Very far off places, too. So it goes to show their skill, I think, that they can take on NA players. Although I think this whole tournament was mostly EU, to be fair. But it does say something that these people can take on fighters like Luck, fighters like me, even on North American host, and do so well.
Yep. That's what centuries of fighting with swords will do to you.
Yeah.
Not to say Americans are not, because we both have the same ancestry, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
And
Good.
Tao takes it actually.
Yeah, that
In
was
the
well
end,
done.
snipes it off. Small comeback.
Yeah, Tao is arguably the favorite there as far as experience, just because Tao plays tons and tons of Gideon, whereas Venator doesn't play quite as much as Laszlo, or of Laszlo, but
You
he's
could
still
go
an elite
just
player.
Isabella.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised.
Gideon
Maybe,
versus
yeah.
Yeah, Gideon versus Isabella is not that bad matchup for Isabella.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, like, his experience can
Yeah.
pull off some flashy moves.
Definitely. I think Venator's just trying some things out on my host and just figuring out what works and what doesn't. Maybe he wants speed too. That could also be part of the reasoning.
The guy loves speed.
Yeah, did great with Samuel, I have to say too, but that can be messy against Gideon.
Yep. Nice combo there.
Mm-hmm. Tao is so good with that stab, Cherno says, makes his Gideon feel like playing against Yon. Yeah, exactly. I think that thrust is just a tad underrated. A lot of people talk about the corkscrew and Yon's low stab, but I think Gideon's stab is pretty good as well, especially as a setup move for other cuts.
Yep.
I guess the difference is Gideon feels more counterable, but it does a similar thing to the corkscrew.
Yep. Loving the backwise from Venator. Really strong move, utilizing well, not all reason. Not over spamming it and taking it the second move is notorious in my eyes.
Beating the blade. Stab, interrupting
but
the
he does.
follow-up. He did the double back Y.
Yeah.
Bit of a
It did,
mistake.
That's
I-
why it's infamous, you know. Just
Yeah.
I say it.
Yeah, I know Oak has talked about deliberately doing it as well, but I'd say most of the
Yeah.
time it's somebody trying to spam it who does it, so they make a mistake. I've done it too with Laszlo. Very easy to do.
Just so easy, yeah. It feels so natural to just keep pressing that Y.
Yeah,
In good old days.
Yeah.
Tao is so injured, he's still limping, he's still tired after like a minute. Venator just
Yeah.
waiting it out.
and of course the
It's
problem
so
I have when I play Laszlo is bar is my muscle memory now. So when I'm thinking back why, I'm thinking let's do a quick snap cut, right? And Laszlo's cut is fast, but it is not a snap cut, and it has that combo, so that's why I end up doing it by accident. Just, I don't even think about it, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm throwing the second cut. Ooh. Outsped the
Damn.
back Y. That goes to show how fast Gideon can be.
Yeah.
Stab there, point
Stab.
blank, yeah.
Ouch.
That's,
That's a nice lead.
yeah. It's just like the corkscrew too, it does a good job of stunning you. So it's a nice move to pressure up close, even if it doesn't kill. Oh, grab
Match
attempt.
point, he goes. Yeah, let's finish.
Risky.
But pays for it.
Yeah. Tao looking to bring it home, though. It's still possible for him. There it is.
Oh, just like that.
GG, guys.
Swift. GG.
Alright, Tao. If you need a break, let me know, but otherwise you're fighting Landsknecht. So don't go away. And I'm glad Steam is cooperating too. That's really nice.
Yeah.
And winner of this fight doesn't get much of a break. Whoever wins has to beat me twice.
Yeah, that's an adventure.
Yeah. It's the beauty of double elimination, though. It gets really intense if somebody wins that first match in the final.
Yeah.
And it's the
Yeah, the
best when you've
comeback is
got.
hard.
Yeah, 100% it is, but it's satisfying when you get it. And if you've got like Hall of Fame worthy fights back to back every time, that's when it's the best.
Indeed.
Okay, Landsknecht on the left, Tao on the right. You have keyboard Landsknecht, so let's do it. See if you can defeat Tao as well. If he at least defeats Tao here, that'll be just, well, I mean, it's a massive achievement to begin with, but I mean, he's guaranteed third place. That's a pretty damn good spot to be, but if he beats Tao here, that would be massive.
Yep.
And heck, he could win the whole thing if he figures something out. I definitely will not rule that out. So,
Yeah. Blanchett won a tournament not that long time ago, right?
yeah, I distinctly remember that. So, definitely not
Like,
out of
he
question.
might be in his Hellish Quart prime right now.
Yeah.
And like shooting for the gold.
Landsknecht, I think, wanted to dash thrust. Maybe a grab. Didn't quite pay off there.
No, attack me.
Yeah, the dash and stab seems to be working much better against Gideon than it did against Barbat. But it can be a little bit expected, which I think Tao did right there. Snap cut, testing the waters and hit a nice fish. Oh. Yeah, Tao looked like he would get that point, but one attack was blocked and Sunshine countered perfectly.
Ooh. Tao takes
Yeah.
that flag. This is a really nice matchup.
Yep.
Both of these characters are all about power.
Yeah, heavy hits, heavy body movement. Big thing.
Nice combination.
Yep.
Right to the arm. Upcut, push.
Oh,
But tired, yeah. Just out of juice there.
I have to guess that was just very bad timing for launch shot.
Oh, there's the handoff. Anybody's game. I love it.
Very close.
Shot there. Cut to the head.
Wow. Through this has a phantom attack where the input goes in and
Yeah.
damage dashes out very fastly. Animation doing
Yeah. Nice. Stab to the body. Tao very good at setting those up. He was good at setting up the corkscrew earlier too, just placing that blade in a spot where it'll bypass the guard and shield him. He was so good at that with Dawn earlier.
Damn.
Nice follow
and
up
a
there.
stab.
Yep.
Yep, finishes the job this time. Gets closer to victory.
Needs one more. Looking to finish it there, but doesn't quite get it. Chop. Nice.
Yeah, big offensive there was completely stopped. Balance shark and even discounted, but oh, sideways X. Love that move and finishes the fight. First fight.
Okay. Tao hoping to seal the deal here, and if he does, he'll get to fight me.
Alright.
Okay, switch sides.
Yeah, Land Shark 3 needs to find a good mind game fight.
Yeah.
No. Cannot abuse too many moves right now. The style will find out quickly, so you have to
Nice.
keep him guessing, keep him feeling unpredictable. I think that might be a key for Land Shark. Yeah,
Another
with
one.
the Russian.
Yeah, he wanted a stab or a grab or something.
Yeah, but his character locks in and the side steps locked out perfectly.
Ooh. One shot with the stab.
Nice.
That's brutal, actually. That doesn't usually one shot.
Yeah.
But it can. Chop doesn't land, but Lanch Connect's attacks do.
Comebacks are real. Land Shark might pull out one right now. You never know. That was a difficult opponent. Oh, be careful. Damn. Damn. Yeah, like that. Slipping away right now from Land Shark's arms on second chance. Champion shot, but then still great performance.
Yeah. Cut to the wrist there. Nice. Lanch Connect really needs to mount this comeback, otherwise he's out of the whole tournament.
Yeah. Oh, that's
There
what
it
he
is.
needs.
Yeah. Good combinations. Testing the guard with the jab. The stab, I should say. Looks kind of like a jab. Nice.
Yeah. That was just on the edge. Perfect snap. And just like that, Land Shark actually. Big comeback.
Mm-hmm. It's not looking so hopeless now. It's even.
Yeah. And just secret phantom technique just hit real hard.
Mm-hmm.
And very cool.
That attempt goes on the offensive, but he's shut down. He's got to be careful now.
Match point. Full tower.
Nice. Wow.
Oh,
That little blade beat move. It actually can do a little bit of damage and stun you. Good combo.
that's it.
He really wants it.
Close one.
Close. Yeah, that's it though. It's
yeah.
1-1.
Oh, the comeback there from Land Shark. Being quite far behind and pulling out like that. Damn, I'm impressed.
Yeah. Against someone like Tao, that is very impressive. Alright, let's swap sides. Should be very happy with his performance no matter what happens now. But hopefully, obviously, he makes this one a tough one regardless.
Yeah, he's probably hungry for the goal. He won't stop now. He'll keep going.
Mm-hmm. Eve says, wow, what a comeback. Yeah, it was amazing. Double. We start out with a double. A good omen, I think.
There might be a lot of more of those expected
Yeah.
very soon.
fight this flag anyway.
Yes, I'm trying to provoke Tao into making some mistakes there with nice jump ins, but Tao does not bite.
Oh, that stab after. That's really sneaky. Nice flag cut.
Oh, mobility is taken away now.
Yeah, might get tired soon as well.
Good at attacks cover a lot of ground. Still. Oh, stab goes. Maybe followed up with another stab there. And we hit it.
Nice.
Oh, and snipes from the side. That was beautiful.
He cuts there. How on the offense and the retreat lands.
And just like that, all the flash moves. Tao just shoot,
Again.
slash, and
Oh.
oh.
Yeah, Tao's not gonna allow Landsknecht to just do whatever he wants. He's gotta stay solid. That could have been another flag for Tao, but it was a double.
Yeah, punishing real well. But it's time for Landshark to make a new comeback. Yeah, she should follow up that stab with another stab. Technique would be way more effective because now his slashes get blocked, but another stab would probably like finish the opponent.
Yeah, here's a good try though. Ooh, wins the trade.
Yeah, the Phantom Slash. I'm gonna call it that right now because the damage comes in way before the animation finish. So it's like a sneaky, like it baits you into attacking and then you get hit in the face with tons of damage. Your damage is neglected.
Big slash. Tao doesn't quite punish it. He was looking for a grab into the arm.
Retreats from one shot.
Oh,
Cool technique there.
he got beat to the punch.
And one more just for Tao. We're gonna be facing you in the grand finale.
Yeah, but that's one for Landsknecht. Don't want to say
Comebacks
too
are real.
much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, again.
It will be funny.
Oh no. Kind of rooting for the underdog here to at least get some more flags.
Oh yeah.
A little
Yeah,
unprofessional,
for
but Tao
Baka.
takes it. Yeah.
Now it takes like. What a fight though. Landshark really a cool comeback, and even at the back was rooting as well for for Big Him to maybe get a few more points and even maybe win. That would be really epic.
All right. We're in the finals now, if you can believe it, and I'll be fighting Tao.
Nice.
I'll take the left side to start, of course, so Tao, you can just stay on the right side. And if you're ready to go, we'll fight, but if you need a breather, just ping me or whatever. Yeah, he's ready to go. I like that attitude. I'm certainly ready.
Perfect. Perfect.
Let's do it.
And best of luck to both of you guys. And what a start. A double. Yeah, another gonna be high speed, high risk, high reward matchup. Sabers hit hard, hit fast, and the characters are fast. It's perfect. I guess maybe Barbash has a slight advantage in speed. But the Gideon has advantage in his approach of attacks and his moveset, with side steps and speed can definitely be used. Plus the range is kind of deceiving because, yeah, of that attack, the thrust in can cover all the ground and really hit your opponents. Surprised. But Barbash has plenty of his own. Really strong too. Yeah, like that. Snap good. Really fast. Goes to the guard at certain range. Really strong. And that. Yeah, now sometimes showing off a little bit. Moveset, the coolness. Yeah, keep it in rotation. Keep your opponent guessing. Show what you got. Very good stuff. Damn. Gideon is really hurt right now. And Subutai finished it. Yeah, I have to say Subutai looking really strong for his USSC shot this weekend, so very menacing. Gonna start to bully whole division again. Oh, nice trick shot into snap. And just like that, it might be 7-0. Not the commentator calls it, but this look very strong right now. Tao seems to be weaponless. A little bit maybe confused. Oh, even though Blade was left, the fight still went on. That's the GG. Sympathize in a nice lead. And if he wins this another game, that's it. It's gonna be it.
Okay, switch sides.
Alright. And this long sword. A little bit of range. A good choice for Tao. Definitely good tools. Try to counter his fast opponent with a short reach. Because that is as well pretty fast. Kind of ballistic sometimes. Oh, that was good stuff, but missed it. But not there. Oh, both are tired and bloody after such an epic exchange. And the thrust there, I snipes the hand. Well done by Tao. And this round already looks completely different from the last one. The epic is who just twisted his neck right there as well. That was brilliant. But I finally with his own blood. Wow. Just like that, with Q-Tex. Stops all the offensive. Yeah. They cannot get to the guard right there. There's guard stands, but there it gets it though. Samurai slashes. Out of reach, out of touch, and Subtai. Close and in the distance actually. Getting adapted to this matchup. That would be close, but damn, out of nowhere, steps in. Yeah. Tao was searching there for a perfect moment and actually was able to get it. Now he's small lead, bigger lead. Very close. Could be a comeback for Tao. Will double. A lot of feints, trying to trigger, make opponent make a mistake. That was being very defensive, trying to find a good moment. Rushes in though, gets smacked. Oh, his timing is still a big mistake, but still gets a double though. I think that was very happy. Another double. Good actions. Wow. So they're able to snipe it and close in. Close in really fast. I'll try to last Hurrah there, sneakily get a point, but actually made himself in a very bad position right now. Oh, this is very dangerous. Could be a match point. It's game point. Oh, combo did not finish it with a stab there. Oh, too close. Very risky. I'm loving this. And Tao is getting out of the corner, but it's corner there. Oh, tension is high. I'm tense myself right now. Just watching these guys being tense, looking at each other, swords. Ooh, that could be in anybody's, and it's a double. What a double. Wow, I think that was a hit, right? Yeah, I see blood on Barbar sword. It's a nice advantage because the stamina hit on Tao. Ooh, yeah, those big sideway attacks. So tempting, I bet. But oh no! Tao finally waited it out and stabbed him. So, damn.
Nice round there.
That was very cool.
Yeah, this is huge for Tao. I'm definitely not switching. Let's see what Tao does. Yeah, I think Zero is a good pick.
100%. Right, we're more in for that epic action we got beforehand. Yeah, that stab working perfectly at close range and counter as well. Especially the offenses. Over double. Yeah, I was still using it, trying to bait out and perfectly counter, but there rushes in a little bit prematurely and gets punished quite badly. Big samurai swings get punished. Yeah. I cannot play around. So, but that's very bad right now. Giving up such a lead, such a mistake. Early on. But he can come back anytime though. Maybe he's throwing Super in a false sense of security. which I guess is a plan. I always feel like easiest points to get is when your opponent is winning more by a good margin, because you're willing to make more risks. And like, I got some good comebacks. My opponent was like almost at the winning point, and yeah, he gets sloppy and counter, and yeah, and then he understands he's getting in a bad situation, and it's hard to get out from it sometimes. Testing the waters there, each other. Wow, what perfect counteraction there, because Tao was probably locked in and trying to counter his attacks and try to put a nice stab in there, but it was perfect mix up for Subutai. Just something Tao brain was not focused at all, and yeah, that's might be game point any second now. Unless Tao gets a nice comeback, which is always a possibility. But no. GG.
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 Yeah, very good Zera there. Even that round there's a bit more of a disparity, but Tao put up an excellent fight, I thought. And that's the tournament.
Oh
Of
yeah.
course, I ended up winning it, but shout out to Tao, and especially I would say Landsknecht, who got third place and took out elite players like Oak. And actually, he did defeat Tao earlier, so Tao did get his
Yep.
revenge,
Yep.
but beating Tao at all is bloody impressive, I would say, from Landsknecht. So he got third place. That's definitely a huge achievement. Tao getting second. And as far as the rest of the standings, Venator, with a nice performance as well, got fourth. Luck got fifth. Piper, of course, tied for fifth. And then Info got 7 votes, seventh, and everyone else got ninth. But still, thank you all for coming out. This was a tough tournament, I have to say. Very elite. I don't think there were any weak players here, so there were some really exciting fights here. Anything else you want to say, Vinu, before we end the stream?
Just that thank you Subutai for being epic and hosting such tournaments, and yeah, that's all.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun as well. Hope to host some more while I've got a little bit of free time in my hands, so stay tuned for more events Thursday. Venator's hosting something Friday, so if you guys are available, make sure you show me some support and join that tournament as well. Anyway, with that, I won't keep you guys any longer. It was kind of a long tournament, not overly long, but longer, so I won't keep you guys any longer. And I'll see you guys next time.
Bye bye.